Sounds good.
Oh, that looks like I'm jacking off. Right?
We are live.
Good way to open it up, huh?
Air wanking it.
Air
wanking.
I like it.
All righty, you heard it. The Three Morons podcast with Zach, Jake, and Carl, and we are now legal. Episode 18.
Woo! Woo!
Yes,
Adults.
Yes,
we are
adults.
we are in the air everywhere on the highways and byways of YouTube. Here, my name is Zach.
My name is Jake.
And I am Carl. As if you didn't know that based on the shirts. Do you think we're like a groupies right here, just talking into the mics?
We're the groupies for the podcast.
We're
We're our own groupies.
Right?
Lots to talk about, lots to get into.
I finally didn't mess up the intro.
You did it? You did
Yeah, you nailed it this time. You didn't have to go. Oh, it's me.
Baby
So
It took 18 weeks.
one out of 18. That's pretty good.
steps. Baby steps.
Well, are we grading on a curve? That's a bad curve, by the way.
Bad curve.
That's a bad curve.
Don't worry. The time of everyone passes and equality, we got an even playing field. That doesn't apply here.
Nope. All right. As you can see, running the setup today, our Google is gone this evening, taking care of some personal stuff. You know, you want to talk about it a little bit if you want.
I'll touch on that real quick. So we are sponsored always by B&L Creative Designs, and for those of you who don't know, B&L is my stepdad and mom.
Yep.
And my mom is just had surgery and everything like that. She's doing good, everyone. So she's great. She's going she should be coming home.
Come into the shot a little bit. There you go.
There you go. She should be coming home here in a couple days. Everything went well. So Bill is taking care of that right now. So Mr. Google is out taking care of his wife as should be.
Yep. And love you, miss you. Hope to have you back next week. And hopefully the recovery is going well. She's doing amazing from what you told me.
Yeah, she's doing great. She's doing her breathing exercises, and even the doctor goes, "Dang, you're doing that well." Like a day after. So I think right now it's just pain tolerance. And there's a tube that has to come out, and then after that they could probably send her home. Probably the doctor told Bill later today. Or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, if not Monday.
He told us never to call him Bill. It's like Sting, and you're calling him by his real name. It's like, no, don't ever say my real name.
But Mr. Google said tomorrow or Monday.
Yep.
Because the doctor that did do the surgery was on call all weekend, so he could actually be like, "Hey, you're just good to go."
Okay.
Based on, like I said, X-rays and some other stuff, scans, and not just pain tolerance.
Right.
Yep.
That does good.
That's real good. I mean, it day by day.
Look, I went there yesterday, and she's sitting up talking. I'm like, well, I'm not worried anymore.
No.
You
No,
just
it's
had
amazing.
It's
amazing.
5-hour surgery.
Right, like the next day morning, I showed up, and I'm like, well, I took off work for a good reason, but at the same time, the main reason is because I was worried.
Yeah. That's how I was a few weeks ago. You know. So lots to talk about. A lot of things happen outside of sports. But the main thing was the election, and we're not going to try to sway Democrats, Republicans, but we all know Donald Trump won. If you didn't know, you were living under a rock. It was announced at like 4:30 a.m. Eastern time. I unfortunately did not have the chance to vote, but I know you guys. Did you? You didn't. You couldn't.
I couldn't. I'm still registered in North Carolina.
That's right.
Should have mailed in my ballot.
He was the only one who
I was
voted
the
here,
only one that was able to vote.
and it wasn't because I didn't like the
I
candidates.
can't wait till I get that call for jury duty because that's how they do is the election registered. Can't wait till they say I got to do jury duty. I'm like, dude, I can't. I live in Iowa. Just won't let me change my address to Iowa.
You want me to fly down for jury duty and come back?
They're like, oh, it's fraud. I'm
Like-
like, it's fraud for someone moving to Holstein, Iowa. That's cool.
Like speaking of jury duty, like I got like selected for jury duty, but it was in Woodbury County, and I live in Ida County.
Yeah.
So
You
I
can
had
still
to,
do. I mean, if you're close enough, they probably can still do it.
no,
Yeah,
like I filled out the form online and I put in my address.
Oh, but where's the last like when you signed to register? Where did you register at?
I think it was like Woodbury.
That's why.
Yeah,
Okay,
I just moved and I'm like, so I put my proof of address and they're like, oh, you're rejected. I'm like, okay, great.
I mean, the best way is just say I hate everybody.
Yeah.
Anyone that's not your color, they probably see through that now. But I'm just saying.
Yeah,
that's one of
right,
the best
right,
ways.
right. I got selected for jury duty back in like 6, 7. Well, it was before I moved back up to Iowa, and they got me in there, and I had to be there at like 7:00 in the morning. So I'm like half asleep walking in. I got to dress nice because you're going to be picked for a jury. And I get there, and they're like
bathrobe,
right? And I get there, and so they do the whole like I don't know how Iowa does it, but they did this whole like I thought I was going in the airport, like through the terminal. Like, all right, take everything off and anything metal. Take your belts off. Like my pants are gonna fall down. I'm gonna moon your asses. I do. Anyway, I get through. I'm not done.
I thought, yeah.
How do you end the story? I'm about to moon the fucking people?
metal detector. Nothing else.
Sorry, okay.
Nothing else happening. Not the metal detector. Like,
Just
sir,
open some moon.
sir, the moon cannot come out. Go
How do
home.
you end the story that way?
Okay, continue.
It doesn't go much further than this because they dismissed me. I'm like, are you serious? I got up at 7:00 in the morning because they said something about like they were just, oh yeah, we just dismissed you because we saw and blah blah blah.
Because you almost mooned us, sir.
Right. So I'm like, okay.
Not so fast, midget.
They're like, well, you can still stay here. I'm like, nope, I'm already out the door. Bye.
You can still wait. Where did he go?
Right.
So I got. Oh, go ahead.
So,
Oh,
my
man.
coworker's girlfriend got a perfect excuse getting out of jury duty, so she was selected. You know what her perfect excuse was? Their house got burned down.
Yeah.
So I never got selected for jury duty when I was when I was registered in the military because
Yeah.
you don't do it, right?
Yeah.
And so someone asked me, is like, why can't military do it? What, you want me to decide a murder case? You want me to tell the boat that I can't go, or you want me to tell the people, hey, I can't vote on this case because I'm gonna be underway? Like, what, can you imagine?
I'm fighting for your freedom.
Can
What do you want me to do?
Walking in and your jury's gone. It has to be unanimous decision. What, they gotta wait for my result when I get back?
Right. Be
It's
back
like
in 6
months.
months.
That's an 8-month jury duty.
Some jury duties are that
Sorry,
long.
my boat's leaving.
It's
Go.
the day of us voting and I don't show up
Right.
because I'm on a boat.
So I don't think we were surprised by the result.
The election?
No.
What we know about the
No,
election?
yeah.
We're talking about jury duty. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we were very shocked. I'm just glad that when I hear iHeartRadio, I'm not going to hear the same campaign
Yeah.
and the same thing, which was Kamala Harris, and she's like, "Hey, we need to go after the people for price gouging, and we need to do this." And it seemed like she was kind of stealing what Trump and them were doing the first term, right? And at one point she said, "As president, I will make that happen." Now it's, "As president, I'll make that my first priority." I'm like, I see what you did. You changed it so when it doesn't happen, because, well, it was my first priority, but let me pass the blame.
Yeah.
And it's not because Democrats pass the blame. It's politicians, right?
Right.
It's the politics. Let me say it's my first priority, so when it doesn't happen, now I can pass the blame. But you said first priority. We all heard the part. So whoever their tech guy is in editing, call Jake. He can do a better job.
Yeah.
I could. Yeah.
I mean, good Lord, he can at least get the hat part out. Like,
Be the
good
Two
Lord.
Morons podcast, and Jake went to bigger and better things with Kamala Harris
or whoever.
or whoever.
Hey, I could decently.
But
edit a
I don't
video.
think, again, when
Talk
they
me
announced president, she backstabbed Joe, and even Jill walked out. Did you see? She was walking out in a red. They did not vote for Joe, and Jill didn't vote for Kamala.
Joe was wearing a MAGA hat.
I don't think they voted for. I think they wrote in Joe's name. But again, they showed they didn't want a president who didn't want Kamala. Now we all have Sleepy Joe and Alzheimer's, whatever. But they didn't vote. They didn't endorse it. They felt like Kamala and the Democratic Party stabbed them in the back. And we all kind of figured this was going to happen, Joe, and like midway during his term.
Yeah.
Something was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That, is it going to be Kamala? Is it this? Maybe things are too bad. Maybe he just doesn't sound very all with it, right? Like, we all look at him. He's falling down off a bike. He's falling up the stairs, the way he's
I
talking.
can barely walk down.
So we figured something was going to happen. Right,
Mhm.
like we need to get him out, right? Like the Democratic Party. I think they waited too long. Plus, if you look at with Hillary, I don't think race has anything to do with it. I don't think I think the prices and stuff went through the roof, and there's a lot of key things that they messed up on, like Pennsylvania. A lot of Amish voted.
Yeah.
They don't know campaigns and this with electricity, but what they do know is the Democrats helped go into their farms.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right. Well, maybe not the Democrats, under Joe's administration, they went into their farms. they're taking your livelihood. So who are we going to vote for? You find out real quick who's the other candidate, and you're voting for the other main candidate.
Right.
Oh yeah.
A lot of stuff ruined it, but I think the main thing is, as you can see with Hillary in this, don't think a country's ready for a woman to be a president.
I don't think the Middle East
And-
is ready for ours to have a woman president. Honestly,
Also, another thing is that Hillary. The difference between Hillary and Kamala. Hillary won the popular vote, but lost the electoral college.
Now, I do want to say this. This is my one take, right? You said the popular vote. I'm glad you brought that up. Mr. Google told me this year the popular vote means a lot. I'm like, what are we talking about? It never means anything. Why does it mean more this year? You know what it shows? People are tired of this woke BS.
Mhm.
Yep.
They're tired of it. They're tired of this. If you're a white straight male, you're the worst.
Mhm.
You're automatically racist if you're this. It's not my person. I can scream and
you
yell.
put a
I
label
can-
on everything,
I
no
can
matter what
throw
you are.
fits. I'm offended for everybody.
Exactly.
And my favorite thing is when someone goes, I'm offended, and it's not about them. And
Oh,
the
yeah.
first thing that it brings me to is Bert Kreischer, his stand-up special. I don't know if you know where I'm going with this. So he comes in, he talks to the cashier who's a black kid. He goes, I want my coffee. Like the father went to go get milk, or what? He got beat by black people, or cops,
I
right?
won't spoil it.
And the whole spoil thing, he goes, I got beat by a cop. He comes in, he keeps coming in and tells jokes about he wants coffee black, right? And that's how he goes black. He gets beat by cops or pulled over for no reason.
Mhm.
So the kids now sees him coming in this last time, laughing. He's like, would you like cream? Because he's like, I got the next 10 customers. I got the next 10 customers. Bert Kreischer gets up there. He goes, I want a venti black coffee. Would you like cream? And he's laughing. And Bert Kreischer goes, no, I like coffee to not know who his father is. And the kid's busting out laughing and everything, right? But then the girl behind him goes, what's that mean? The kid jumps up and goes, he wants his coffee black. Now, again, this cashier is black. And the lady goes, that's offensive. She's white. And then he goes, yeah, and that's the problem with cream. Right? How are you offensive if the black guy's laughing?
Right. Jay said, you guys are offending me by talking about this. LOL.
Hey, Mr. Google walked in.
Well, he's here.
So he might come and help
Live-
us a little bit.
live
But
in the
yeah,
flesh.
so again, I don't think a lot of people are shocked. If you looked at the polls, if you ever looked at anything, I know we're trying not to be political, but if you ever looked at anything, it kind of went the way we thought. States flipped, right? That whole blue wall, it flipped. Michigan,
blue wall
Wisconsin,
crumbled.
North Carolina, where I live, which is but again,
Georgia went from
North
blue to red.
Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, the Bible states, the Bible country, whatever, a lot of Christians
Bible
and
Belt.
Catholics and religious.
It's called the Bible.
The Bible Belt.
Yep.
What did they say? What did Kamala say at one of her rallies? Someone said, praise Jesus. She goes, you're at the wrong rally. You want the one down the road. You just dismissed the whole
Church community. I
Oh,
guess.
yeah.
Christianity, right?
Yep.
You just heard that. So that's where she messed up. Like you're dismissing a lot of your votes.
And like speaking of that, it's like her like two main candidates like picking up as a running mate was between her one that she picked, Tim Walz, or the governor of Pennsylvania. And then when ultimately said that she went with Pennsylvania because of
You know who she should have went with to win?
Me.
Hulk Hogan, brother. All right. No one's voting against Hulk Hogan.
So I just wanted to. I know this isn't an election, but I just got this notification on my phone. The famed NASCAR driver just passed away, Bobby Allison. He's
Bobby
Paso-
Ellison passed.
at the age of 86. Was the 1983 NASCAR champion, the winner of 85 career races. So hearts and souls out to his family.
Hearts and souls also out to Kirk Herbstreit.
Yep.
I want to
Ben
touch on this
Herbstreit.
if we're gonna touch on people dying. Ben Herbstreit, the dog. Dog had cancer, had to put him down. National treasure. Like started bringing him everywhere. You saw him always on College game day. He wrote in his contract with NFL, I can bring him on Thursdays. He goes to hotels. And I mean, Kurt, I've never seen Kurt,
No.
whatever, except maybe
down.
once in a while when Pat McAfee gets him to laugh.
But,
Or
But,
Lee
I mean,
Corso.
he was breaking down, right?
yeah, like he couldn't. Like,
I mean, breaking down. He did a little poem. It had me in tears. And
Kinda-
it's not even my dog.
Hit home to me because you both know that we had a dog pass away a few months ago. So when I saw the tribute, I kind of teared. A little
Well,
bit.
Zoe was sitting. My
You're
daughter
fine.
Zoe was sitting here watching her tablet. Talked about the dog, and I told her about it. She sat and watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
She goes, "Oh, how sad!" And she would talk about Husker and everything. And
Yep.
she was like, "I don't care about football, Dad. You know, I'm like, I don't watch it, but I actually watched that." because it
Yeah.
hits home. It's a
It
dog.
does.
It's a family member. It's a dog. Also, sports, but we all know I like horror films. Candyman died. Tony Todd.
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
Tony Todd, the guy that played Candyman, died. Final Destination. Death.
Oh,
There's
Yep.
another TV show. I can't remember what it was, but he was another eerie character on a TV
Mhm.
show.
you said Tony Todd.
Very good actor, by the way.
Yeah, great actor. Yeah, Tony Todd. I think he was like 70.
Should we do? Anybody out there want us to give a shout out to
69.
anything? Let us know.
Nice.
60,
Any comments or
almost 70.
questions?
Yeah, any questions?
I don't think they're going to talk about the election because we just got through all that hoopla. But I'll just say this, and this is something that you brought up. I don't see blue and red. I see character and human beings. So in order to get this country back on track, I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. We need to work together to get
Exactly.
back
'cause
up there.
I
And
don't-
this is lead into what you were going to say.
I brought it up to him. Like everyone's like, because I watched a video, because I watched a live coverage of the election, and this one lady brought up like, hey, people, like one thing this election get over, everyone needs like cast your votes. Just stop seeing people as enemies. See them as your neighbors. And this one says, love thy neighbor.
Yep.
And does not see other one as enemies. Cast your vote who you want to, who you think is the best. But at the end of the day, it's just still your neighbor. You're still citizens of the country.
So I want to touch on this too, right? And this is a good point. This is what I want us to talk about with politics. Not we're Republicans, we're Democrats. I want to talk about this unity, right? When Obama, when Bush, when all of them went up and they got elected, I
Bush?
never heard people go, he's not my president. Or I don't like you because you like this person. It wasn't until it was Trump versus Hillary.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know what? There's pictures of Trump hanging out with the Clintons when Bill Clinton was president.
Yep.
But yet here's Hillary slandering Trump. It's
Oh,
like,
Yeah.
so you start automatically slandering this person, but at the same time, you guys were good friends. But he
Poli-
supported you.
Politics aside,
But-
Obama and they don't like each other. Obama and Trump, they both said good things about each other when they
What I
transfer
want
power.
to touch on is what you said. Love thy neighbor.
Yep.
Right? So in love thy neighbor, I'm Catholic. And I don't care what other Catholics believe. What I believe is when you love thy neighbor, you respect them. Gay, whatever they are, you may not like their decision or like their opinions, but you will respect them because
Mhm.
that's what the Bible wants you to do. That's what God wants you to do. That's how we are great in this country. That's why we have a democracy. That's why we broke away from England at the time
Mhm.
because we all have different opinions. We all have different reasons and there's different this. And for you to say, and I saw it on Facebook before, and I don't care if they're watching, I don't care if whoever, if you can't respect someone's opinion of what they like, now respect their opinion versus them forcing it down your throat, two different things.
Right.
If they're forcing it down your throat, by all means, go back at them. I don't care. But if you
Right.
can't respect everyone's difference in opinions, like the person goes, if you voted for Trump, I don't want to be your friend because of women's rights. Well, we all have different opinions.
Right.
But you know what? And I said this before. If you don't want to be my friend because I have a different opinion than you, you know what? Unfriend me, block me, never talk to me again. I won't
Right.
wish you a day in my life.
Yep.
It's just this mentality of like this mentality that everyone seems to have is like, oh, if they have a different opinion, you hate them. No, that's not it. If it may matter in this great country, we can have different opinions
Yep.
about everything. It's just you don't have to hate. Just
Don't
respect them enough. Just like, okay, you agree with that? Okay, whatever.
There are certain
End of the day.
people that don't talk about religion and politics. I'm not going to unfriend them because of that.
Exactly.
They just don't want to talk about it. We are going to move on to sports now.
Hello.
Mr.
We're just
Google
talking
has
about
just
that, but
arrived.
We went unbiased,
Yeah, we did.
but we went unity, not just. We talked about opinions,
Yeah.
pretty much. So, but
He who rules all. Oh, sorry.
sports. We're gonna go to my
You
topic.
almost went the
We're
That's
gonna
what I was trying to do.
We're gonna get the mandatory, obligatory Igor Shesterkin monologue
my
right
God.
now.
I'm texting the wife. See you later.
I'm going out. Bye.
No, but the other day, so right now, Jonathan Quick's playing because you can't put Igor in for more than one game. But no, seriously, this guy allowed 3 goals at least. I didn't see the other part because I
Yeah.
was upstairs and I turned off the game 3-0. 3 goals. It also proves to me that still luck and everything and
I'm
the way
still
people
listening.
blocking. But this guy wants $11 million. Unless he is consistent the rest of the season, allowing 2 or fewer goals, he's not going to get $11 million. He's not going to reset no market.
No.
If he continues to be iffy The Rangers will offer him something to be their star. He will probably deny it because it won't be where he wants, and he's going to be a backup somewhere for at least a year to prove, hey, I can go out there and be consistent all the time.
I don't know. I say you get a guy, you sign him regardless.
I mean, you're signing regardless, but I mean, if he wants somebody money, you have to like not have someone's inconsistency. Like, don't go out one game, allow one goal, and next game allow 6. I'm like,
yeah,
where's the consistency? Like, where was this last year?
But I'm watching that game. Is it all his fault? Was it
what, last year?
No, this year. Has it been his fault?
I mean, again, hockey. I see it, and goalies are gonna get the blame. But at the same time, you got people blocking, tipping. You got people covering his line of sight because that's what hockey is. So I don't think it's all his fault, but at the same time, if you're gonna be one of the great goalies, you still can't allow 3 or 4 goals,
right?
In half of your games.
Well, not only that, but what if it's a 3-on-1 and that
it's never usually that. It's just a lot of like blocking and just maybe some of his angles.
Right.
There's sometimes he reacted late, and the only reason he reacted is because it hit off the
post
crossbar, but went out, right? So he got lucky he didn't go in. But at the same time, hockey's one of those sports like baseball where it's all about where it lands, where it goes. Do you blink too soon on accident and you miss the pitch because you only got a second to hit? It's just one of those things.
Right.
I still think Igor is one of the best, but I don't think he's going to get 11 million. I don't think he's going to reset the market. Maybe 9.
Right.
We'll
Are
see.
you going to hear this talk like once a week on podcasts?
No.
Probably.
No.
Mainly, yes.
When they go out and get a blowout loss? Yes. Yes, you will.
But, well, yeah. And then, but at the same time, if you're going to be inconsistent, now's the time to do it. You got time to recover.
Yeah. This is early in the season. Right now, they're 4th in their division, so they're not in the playoffs, but they also had less games than most people.
Right.
They're at 17 points for like 12 games, 11 games. So 22 possible points. You had 17 at the time. Now you got 12 games with 17 points, which is 24 possible points. You got 17. You're only missing. Right. So you're still not.
Right.
The Sharks, Utah, who started off hot and now dropping, like the Black, kind of like right there, but not. You're not there yet. You're not in panic mode.
Nashville's down there too.
Yeah,
but
Nashville. I forgot about them because
same coast, but also at the same time is a lot of pieces coming in. They weren't very good last year, trying to figure things out. I don't know if Nashville will stay down there. If they do, okay. If they don't, that's fine too.
I mean, the Rangers right now are playing the Red Wings. They won. I think they've already. This is like the 3rd game. I feel like
Blackhawks are 1 game ahead of the Predators, or 5-9 and 1. They're 4-9.
Right, but again, they're a young team, right?
Yeah.
Detroit's a good team coming up.
Yep.
So the Rangers are playing them right now with, like I said, Jonathan Quick. It's just one of those things that they're not there yet in panic mode. They're still able to make the playoffs. It's still early in the season.
Then we got a Jets team that's actually winning. We're not talking about New York.
No, we're not talking about the New York Jets.
We got Winnipeg, 14-1. We talked about this earlier.
That's almost a season of football.
Yeah. Well, 17. Yeah. Not 16 anymore, but
But they still got what? There's 82 total games. It's 14-1, 15. So you still got like 67 more games left.
They're on pace to maybe get about 7 losses on the year.
Maybe it's over 100 points.
Yeah.
Woo! And guess what? If you win the President's Trophy, you're not winning.
Oh yeah, let them win. Let them win the President's Trophy. It still won't be a Canadian team.
Oh yeah, no. Like
what's last time? I can't remember. We said like early 2000s.
It was something like that. I think it had to be
or maybe
Avalanche
like 92 or something.
I think it was the Avalanche in 01 because
last time the Rangers won was 94, and I think the last time a Canadian team was 93. Or I got it mixed up.
I don't think it's so much as a curse. It's just one of those things that you get your best players playing your best hockey in the right time.
Well, it's like the NBA, right? The Bucks kept being one of the best teams, one of the best teams. Well, eventually, Giannis went down, right? And was like, I don't need to play that great all the time in the regular season. Let's just get to the playoffs. They'd get like 3rd place, and they dominated and won the championship.
Yeah,
because Giannis didn't use all his energy.
I think the former coach of the Magic, Sean Clifford or Steve Clifford, he said it's not about winning; it's about winning in the playoffs.
Right.
You win in the playoffs.
I mean, look at the Packers when they won. They were a 6th seed. Winning 1. Giants, I think they were 6th seed.
Last time it was the Blackhawks in 2012 and 13.
High five, buddy. You got your Blackhawks in there.
Last time they won, Blackhawks. Last time they won the President's Trophy and the Stanley Cup. history.
I actually know the last time we won the Stanley Cup was in
2004.
No,
14 or
but that's
15.
the last time you won the Stanley Cup and the President's Trophy at the same time.
That was the last time anyone won the President's
Right.
Trophy
That's what I'm saying.
and
At least the
Stanley Cup.
Blackhawks got something going for them.
I think they'll be back up there
But like,
again.
was it the Giants the 6th seed that took down the Patriots?
Yeah.
Again, it's just about getting to the playoffs and then playing your best
and they
football,
played
basketball, baseball, whatever in the playoffs.
in both those runs.
Playoffs is a different.
Unless you're the
beast.
Dodgers and the Yankees, because you're the top 2 teams in the AL and NL.
Right. No, I thought Philly was the top. No, it was the Dodgers, wasn't it?
I think barely the Dodgers,
Barely
but yeah,
the
I think it
Dodgers.
was the Dodgers this year. We know the Yankees won the
Yeah.
AL.
Yeah.
Well, AL regular season.
Regular season, yeah.
But yeah, so NHL though, we didn't expect the Jets and everything like
no.
that. But
And-
it's still early. We got
It's
some.
early.
I mean, there's good names. I know when the Buffaloes, who we were playing, Sabres, a lot of scores, and I think that gets that young team finally going.
Jay said Canadians last team to win the cup from Canada in '93.
He's 93. Okay, so like I said, 93 was the Canadians and 94 was the Rangers.
Yep.
That's how I know.
I believe '95 was crap. Who was I think it was the Red.
And that's the last time they won.
No.
Oh, okay. I was just trying to think. Was that the? I thought we were talking about last time a
No,
team won. I'm
no,
like,
no,
that's
no.
crazy. Last
I
time.
was just trying to go in
Canadians-
chronological order because I know '96 was the Avalanche, and I think the Red Wings won back to back again.
You
But I
pull
don't-
out the history. I've only been following hockey for 4 years, so I only know the Rangers
Going
and the
to the Mus-
Canadians because they talk about it every year to the playoffs.
well, for the longest time, watching the Musketeers out in Sioux City for the longest time. Auditorium, shout out to the Sioux City Musketeers.
Have us out there, please.
Yeah, please. And you know, they were like, yeah, NHL. And I'm like, what? I thought this was the NHL. Didn't know there was more tiers of hockey above
Oh yeah.
USHL. So when you're like 5, you don't know that stuff. But they start following it more because some of these guys that you watch play are in the NHL,
Mhm.
like Ruslan Fedotenko. And who else was there? I can't think.
Yeah, there's a few Huskies there. in
Yeah.
the NHL, but, man.
I think Drew Hale was one, but he only lasted a few years in the league. But just to get to that
Get to
level,
that league for playing in Sioux City, yeah. It takes a lot.
but John Graham was one. He was a goalie, but yeah, I mean, you got anything else for the NHL? I know you want to go into NBA, and it's going to make me laugh. I'm sorry.
The NBA. Are we starting with my take on the NBA over here? The Bucks, our team, the Bucks.
Yeah, he's on like a 3-minute rant, so we got time. I'm gonna check the
No,
phone.
no, this is your team too, though.
I
mean,
know.
Yeah, you got to give it a little bit.
I mean, I understand-
I'm getting to the point, and sweet, they're disappointing. It's Doc Rivers. It's the team.
Darvin
run.
Ham is the assistant coach. Like, how is your head coach, and your assistant coach, both horrible coaches?
I
So
love starting
if you-
coaches. I love that.
if you
I love that
fire
take.
one of them, you have to fire the other one. They're bad.
I mean,
Darvin
yeah.
Ham was not good with the Lakers.
No, he wasn't.
I'm sorry, you get fired and you have LeBron and you're making the playoffs. You probably don't deserve to be a coach.
And the thing is, with
True.
I
Do you
don't
think you
get
do-
why we fired our last head coach. I get it. The one reason was because we had horrible defense, but we were winning games. We were one of the best teams in the league.
Well, Giannis
But
went
they're
on
not
a rant
scoring
and
now.
I heard Giannis had Damian Lillard, Darvin Ham, and Doc Rivers in the office.
Yeah.
And he went after Darvin Ham, saying, blah, 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 I don't trust him. You got to forget Doc Rivers. Get rid of him.
Mhm.
He's the guy. He's the head coach. I don't believe in Darvin Ham's tactics. Okay, well, Doc Rivers is condoning his tactics.
Love the comment, Jay.
What do you say?
Pistons better than the Bucks. LOL.
Yeah, right. The Bucks the other day almost lost to the Jazz, who just got their first win long ago. So
Right.
they were the tied for the worst team,
Oh,
and I
man.
think they're still tied for the worst team because the Jazz
Yeah.
won again today.
Yeah, they beat the Spurs 110 to 109.
And Milwaukee didn't show up in Milwaukee because I think it was at home in Milwaukee against the Knicks.
I think it was Milwaukee.
So they stayed at home and got clones to go out and play. That's never played before. All right, their talents got stolen by the Monstars. Okay,
I don't think it's a shock that the Knicks won because the Knicks are expected to
no,
contend
no,
with
because
the Celtics.
they got a great team.
But
I'm not.
first time in a while we say that.
When we started this, though, we thought maybe
For
the
the
Bucks were like
first
4 or
time
5,
in forever.
6 range. Like they're not even in the playing round. Like I don't agree with Giannis. I think what the Bucks need to do is get rid of the coaches, but you need to get rid of Giannis.
Probably.
Only because Giannis is a talent that you could get a lot of picks, a lot of stuff, and start your rebuild.
Yeah.
If you're gonna start with new coaches, start your rebuild.
You're gonna if
One
you're
of
gonna
those guys said F them picks.
Yes, in
in
football.
NBA, you got.
But in NBA, you got to find something else because I mean, it's not Giannis. Giannis is not the problem. But at the same time, who are you going to get more picks for? Giannis or Damian?
You can get both technically.
But who are you going to get more picks for?
Giannis.
Because you need a big man down low that can score anywhere on the floor, and he can dominate anywhere.
Giannis is still dominating.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's the problem. I'm just saying right now, 1-6. If you need to change, first you need to change your coaches, and then you need to
mess with it.
Then you need to changing your players, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, they're 2-6, 2-7 now. It's awful.
Yeah, but it's not totally panic mode yet.
It's not. It's a long season. You're talking about what, 9 games out of 82, so you still got 73 games left.
But if it starts teetering into where you're only winning maybe 2 out of 10.
If you're 2-15,
yeah,
you need to start back. You need to get rid of people because it's still early enough to where you could trade your pieces to someone like a Dallas or someone who's already a star, and they'll give you some picks, and then they could dominate that division.
I hate to say it, but I would say that if you're going to trade Giannis, trade him to Miami.
I say trade him to another team that could use a big guy. Not the Heat, right? That's going to also be probably a lottery draft pick. You can't give him to a team that's going to make the playoffs because then you're not going to get good picks out of them.
Right.
Unless they already got good picks because they traded their players.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting, but I see Damian Lillard or Giannis, one of the two for sure, and the coach is being fired by the end by December if it goes the way it is by the mid-December.
Doc Rivers get fired by the end.
Well, like I said, if it goes the way it is,
one can only hope.
If it goes the way it's going, you're going to see changes.
One can only.
Who are they going to hire from ESPN now? JJ Redick went to the Lakers. Oh, bazinga! Doris Burke. There we go. High five, Doris Burke. Shout out.
I don't know who Doris Burke is.
Announcer for the NBA on.
Yeah, you know who Doris Burke is?
No.
She's even on the basketball games.
I got asked what's up with Pop. I guess he's had some health issues. He's been missing the last few games. I don't. Greg Popovich.
Oh,
so I don't exactly know the whole situation there. Hopefully,
I haven't heard anything. I'm not on ESPN or anything. I'm shocked.
He missed a game, and then they say he's going to be out indefinitely. One of the assistants is taking over for him.
LeBron's going to be out.
LeBron's going to get traded to the Cavaliers.
LeBron's out.
No.
By the way, if you didn't know, LeBron got tapped at the back of the head, career-ending injury.
Oh yeah,
career-ending injury.
Well, he retired the same day Bronny did because Bronny got sent to the G.
Yeah, Bronny got sent to the G League. Officially not a two-way player anymore. Officially to the G League. You know, because he's only scoring 0.3 points a game and 0.5 rebounds. Rookie of the year right there.
I'm telling you. Forget that other Zach Edey from Memphis. We're just going to write Bronny James in. Might as well.
I put him in president, Bronny James.
That's funny. But I think it's still early in the season where we don't have to make the switch yet. Like you said, if this is probably around Thanksgiving time and they're still struggling, they have to make it if they don't already. Just
yes. I like I said, Thanksgiving time, middle of December, there's going to be a change if they're still going like this.
Yeah.
I mean, the other day, after calling out Damian Lillard, he had like 35 points.
Yeah, maybe they need
that with the Jazz. But again, can he do it
consistently?
Yes, consistently.
And then you got to start thinking maybe this team just really isn't that good anymore.
It might be. They got to figure it out. You stop Giannis. If I've looked at these, and Giannis is not the leading scorer. You stop Giannis, you stop him. I mean, they proved it in the playoffs,
right?
Yeah. And then, like you said, if Lillard gets cold, and then Middleton's not there right now.
Well, the thing is, if LeBron or not LeBron,
he might as well be LeBron.
If Giannis is doing what I said he's doing, right, where he's, hey, I'm just taking it easy till the playoffs. Maybe he needs to kick it back up and go.
You gotta get there first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe he has to kick it back up.
He gotta get there first.
Hey,
right now you ain't gonna be there.
Teams are getting better every year, and it's always that. Except certain teams like Pistons and stuff.
I was gonna say that you got teams like Atlanta, Pitt, Detroit. We can't talk about Indiana anymore. Indiana went, the whole way with Boston, just ran into a better team. These teams are going to be coming up and going. You got to either get in the fast lane or get the hell out of the way. That's the way it's going to be.
Right.
I mean, we talk about we could make fun of Detroit all we want to, but they could probably go out there and dominate any college basketball team right now. So, because they are 15 of the best players that you have on an NBA team. Those are just one college in college.
Mm.
Yeah.
Unless you're UConn, then they're just going to beat everybody. So,
Oh, don't and then get no respect.
you ain't get no respect because they're number 3 in the poll
So,
after winning the last 2 championships.
I remember like this past offseason of NBA with the head coaching vacancies. Like, you know how many teams are trying to lure the head coach out of UConn?
A lot. Yeah.
LA was one. They were offering him like $70 million.
And he's like, no, I'm gonna stay in UConn, run back.
Yeah, he wants to go to 3P.
He wants 3P. Yeah, he's like, no, I'm good. I'm set put.
The Phoenix Suns are actually doing well right now. They are second in the league behind Cleveland and I think Oklahoma City, Golden State, and
just
Boston.
said
Right
he's
there.
out for a couple days.
He got hit in the
Devin
back of the
Booker.
head too.
Well, Devin Booker's still there. They still
Yeah.
have other.
He
players.
picked his nose too much and started bleeding, so he had to take a couple days out.
and he was only
At least
2
it's
inches.
not like LeBron like gets poked in the eye. Oh, I'm out for a month.
True.
Slapped the back of the head and fall
Slapped
on the
him.
bench.
Oh
He's like, oh, shit. I'm like, dude, he
my
tapped you.
god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
And that's why hockey's better because
So-
want to come back.
Anybody want to comment on the NBA or NHL? Go right ahead. We're going to go strictly into the NFL. And the only reason we're bringing this up because this was made prevalent today. Dak Prescott potentially out for the season for the hamstring injury.
Hey, look, I mean, you said they're not going to win without Dak, but they weren't winning with Dak. Okay, they don't have.
At least trying to help him.
Cooper Rush is not bad. The reason we came in, they didn't come back, is because they're dropping the passes because they weren't used to someone actually throwing it to them. They're used to having to make the catch and not, oh shoot, it's actually here.
I mean,
It's actually accurate. Oh my
fair
goodness.
enough.
But was Dak the reason they were down 40 to nothing at Detroit? I'm just kidding. They weren't. But
Maybe, but defense also allowed 40 points.
they do get Parsons back tomorrow, but they are playing the Philadelphia Eagles, which they have a family down there in
with
Dallas.
Parsons getting back with Parsons getting back and Dak being out, is this the final nail in the coffin that is Dallas season?
Well, if they lose tomorrow, it's
If they
bad.
lose, they're done.
No, I'm saying if they lose tomorrow, I think Mike McCarthy gets fired.
Oh yeah.
Not tomorrow.
You don't think it's tomorrow?
They'll finish the season with him at least.
Okay.
Think?
Jerry Jones is never usually firing anyone in the middle of the season.
The only one he did was Wade Phillips. They were like 1-9.
Okay, fair enough.
And he probably had a coach that he started wanting to talk to.
Well, he already had Jason Garrett at the time, and then Garrett took over, and
There you go.
So
Yeah, they're not gonna fire Mike McCarthy at all.
Mike Zimmer's not going to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hell
Mike
no.
McCarthy gets fired. He's getting rid of all the mics.
Zimmer is not gonna be a coach. I think he's gonna be fired before McCarthy.
Oh yeah, because the defense
He's the
is
defensive
horrible.
coordinator.
That,
He's allowing the points.
But
oh,
do you,
yeah.
but do you
that
see?
defense was number 1 ranked defense last year, and now is the 31st ranked defense.
Which, by the way, the 32 ranked defense faces the 32 ranked offense tomorrow.
yeah,
I'd
Barn
rather-
burner, baby.
Oh, yeah,
he
whatever.
took one of the best defenses. They didn't change much on defense and made them one of the worst defenses.
Oof.
Yeah,
How
well,
does that freaking work? I don't know.
But
but
the same
again,
players.
your players got hurt, but how many of them want to play for Mike Zimmer? I guess.
Everyone's
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, Mike Zimmer's a great defensive coordinator." Doesn't look like it when he went from the number 1 defense to the 31st defense.
Jay says prime time to Dallas. I said that beginning of the year.
I don't think so.
I doubt it. I don't think prime
Prime
will
time.
sleep.
Did you see that Colorado's also going to give them like $30-40 million of NIL money to get whoever he wants?
Yeah.
To compete with
Mhm.
like the Big Ten and the SEC.
Mm-hmm. Yours too. Well, I didn't shave. I
Yeah,
ran
I
into a
did
weed whacker. He shaves all the time. It's well, we shouldn't say no shave November. We shaved.
No
You're-
shade November starting never for me.
Never.
I itch too easy.
Where are we
November.
shaving?
We can do November. We can look like pedophiles like Aaron Rodgers.
I'd rather not. Oh, we went there.
Whoa,
Getting back
whoa.
to the NFL.
Back on board of the NFL. Yeah.
But yeah, so Dak possibly out for the rest of the season.
Good games, and we had Kansas City pull it out against Tampa.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
$40 million. Maybe never play again. Take all that money.
What was the Sunday night game last week? I forgot. Oh, Philly.
Who made
No,
$40?
it was Minnesota pulling.
Dak's making like
Oh yeah. I'm
60
okay.
million a year.
You
something.
said 40 million. I got freaking confused. I'm like,
No,
huh?
he's like 60 million or so. He's the highest paid quarterback right now yearly.
Had some good last 2 primetime games were good.
Thursday night was great.
Thursday night was probably the game of the year so far. I think it just.
How do you
trumped
have
them.
like 7,000 passing yards and still lose?
That defense sucks?
Joe Burrow, man.
That defense is
Speaking
atrocious.
of another
I mean,
DC,
think of it. In that game,
Like-
your quarterback on fantasy got you 40 something. Your
Lamar,
receiver
yeah.
got you 50 something. Joe Burrow got 50 something. But my Derrick Henry got me 14. Like he looked like a slouch. He still got a touchdown.
It was
of
a
68
passing
yards.
game. It was a passing game in that
Speaking
game.
of like another DC that's on the hot seat.
Jay's defense play got him -4.
Yeah, that was
Sorry, Jay.
Bengals. Speaking of another DC that's on a hot seat because they're one of the worst defenses when it comes to the run and pass and can't stop a nosebleed.
I was hoping we'd wait for the who's on the hot seat for number 5, the big board.
It's a DCs.
Yeah, but still, you can still mention. But go ahead. I was hoping we're mentioning all these hot seats for later.
Well, it's just on the point. Well, another point is the Bengals DC. I can't remember his freaking name.
Oh yeah, horrible.
Yeah,
horrible.
They had one of the better defenses last
I
year.
know someone that I don't know him, but the dude comments on our promos. He's like asked if do we think the Bengals are going to go to the playoffs. I said they need to turn it around.
Oh yeah,
They need to stop.
Yep.
They need to stop people.
Stop,
But I don't-
something.
I don't think even if they start turning it around now, they're going to make the playoffs because they're not going to be able to stop people when they need to.
Oh yeah, no.
And I think Zach, if they don't make the playoffs, Zach Taylor probably does get on the hot seat to start of next year.
Oh, the
'Cause-
coach, yeah.
Yeah, because they're just underperforming.
See,
now.
I understand defensive coordinators
Yeah.
get blamed too, but you know who? You fire the defensive coordinator, you put the head coach on the hot seat. And if you got the same problem, then you go, it's the coach.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
You don't
I get
look
that.
ever really at the personnel in the NFL, it seems like.
I definitely get that. Also, like everyone, like Zach Taylor, I'm like, he made the right decision. He made the right decision to go for 2 points. In the game where your defense can't stop an offense,
I understand. I'd
rather go for the win
I
than
still
try to get
hey,
another
guess what?
situation.
Guess what though? Coin flip, you get the ball, you go down, score, you don't have to worry about your damn defense.
Eventually, but
We
Patrick
don't know that.
Mahomes
though.
always.
Oh, and you said his defense didn't stop him? Wasn't it 21-7 at one point? So they stopped them. Thank you. They stopped them.
Yeah, but they allowed him to come back too.
Exactly, but they did stop them.
for a few times, but I mean, it's not
Don't-
sustaining.
Okay, good. I thought you were gonna say, but they got the momentum. If they had the momentum, Bengals would never give it up.
No, it's not sustaining. Like they can stop them for 2 drives, and all of a sudden
I think
they
he made
wake
the right
back up,
decision.
and all of a sudden they
I
can't
just
stop 'em again.
think it's the wrong decision at the time.
But if he wins, is it the wrong decision?
If he wins, I still would have kicked the field goal because you go into overtime. I don't change my decision whether you win or lose.
Right.
Now, what I said to Mr. Google, we're watching it. I think you should go for the field goal. I bet you they go for 2. I knew what they're going to go for. 'Cause
Yeah.
Analytics say go for 2.
Yeah.
My gut says go for 1 and take this to overtime. And you give the best damn speech of your
Yes.
life if your defense is going on the ball first.
Oh yeah,
You give the best damn motivating speech, and then you find out if you're a
Make the
motivator.
Bengals great again, Trump. Oh, sorry.
If
I don't care.
you give the best speech, and if they fail, you get fired because obviously you're not a good motivator.
On one game.
No, you're at the end of the season. They will
Oh.
catch you. Not you don't. get
Zach
fired after
Taylor's
that
not
game.
on the hot seat yet. I don't think
No,
he
not
is.
No, I'm talking about the defensive coordinator.
Oh, defensive
You
coordinator.
make the speech of your lifetime,
Defensive coordinator got fired weeks ago. Sorry.
yeah.
but you make the speech of your lifetime in that overtime, right? And
Yeah.
if they go down and score a touchdown and you didn't look like you tried to stop them, not discipline, but like, oh, we just allowed a big play and a big play and a big play, then you're not gonna be
You know who's available to be a DC? Robert Saleh.
me.
Shalom.
Robert Saleh.
No, actually, he's
Saleh.
Whatever.
He's
Salad.
Italian, Salea.
Saleh. I gotta do it in the shit.
He's actually on
Keep
a
forgetting.
he's actually on a coaching staff right now.
He's on Green Base. He's a consultant.
Yeah. Right now,
Right now, he ain't gonna. No, he's
you
not gonna
don't
last.
bring people in the middle of the season.
No.
At the
No,
end of the season, he could though.
He's not like.
He's gonna be a defensive coordinator at the end of the season.
Oh yeah,
Well,
definitely.
he'll get a job.
Because I'm sorry, and this will bring us almost to the big board, so I'll save the rest of it for later. But you could be a great coordinator and a horrible head coach.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
That's all
Ma-
I'm gonna say because it's gonna bring it to the
yeah,
big board. And we got more stuff.
I
to
almost
talk
said his
about.
name too, so sorry about that. But you also like, I don't know what I was going to bring up because I'm looking at some of the games and looking at some of the teams. The team that the Cowboys lost to are looking fantastic.
One of
Atlanta.
the teams,
One of the teams, the Falcons.
not the Saints.
No, Saints haven't won since that game. I don't think Dallas has either. No, I was kidding. A couple of times. but-
Lions, they're a great team. They got
Oh,
blown
yeah.
out.
I mean, everybody want to talk kind of
I
crap
think
about
Dan
Green Bay,
Campbell
but
got 92% of the votes in Michigan. To be honest with you,
and I think he was
He
could've
was,
been
he was
okay.
wrote in.
He was wrote in, yeah.
Hey, I'd vote that dude in for president. Kneecaps.
I forgot what we were talking about.
Sorry. Imagine Lions.
Right.
The Cowboys, they lost like 2 good teams and stuff.
Well, just talking about the Falcons because
Falcons aren't that bad.
no, and they might win the division because they're already 2 up on Tampa and have the season series over them. Rest of the division is terrible. I mean,
yeah.
Dennis Allen gets fired. That's going to lead us into the big board later. We'll talk more about that when that happens.
Right.
And Carolina is, I don't want to say they don't know what they're doing, but they're rebuilding. So
Yeah.
Which leads us to the big board too. They're already talking about giving their coaches. You can't give her someone to the
No.
No, you cannot get rid of
I hate
Dennis
when they
now.
hire someone, they get rid of them for a year. What? So what? Was Dennis Allen your guy? And you're like, yeah, he's on the hot seat because we wanted Dennis Allen or we want Robert Saleh. Like that's the only reason I can think that you want your 1-year head coach gone is because this guy is so much better. He got fired in the middle of the season. Clearly, he's not better.
They fired Frank Wright after 1 year.
I don't like when you fire someone for 1 year. For
Yeah.
one, it's not their team. They didn't help you pick this with the GM.
Yeah.
And two, you're getting in there. You're just putting your system in for the first time. Some of them are rookies, whatever. It doesn't matter if they're rookies or not. You're putting them in there to see what you got, and then you go to the GM at the end of the year. Go, these are the players we need, or these are the type of players I would like to have.
Deion
Right.
Sanders of the
But you don't
Carolina
get any of that stuff because you're gone after a year.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like if I've seen coaches get fired after 2 seasons, and
I think 3 is minimum.
Three
I think
minimum?
you should have 3 minimum.
so. What do we? The only reason I'm bringing this up, Nathaniel Hackett. I don't mean to throw shade at this. Was it really that bad in Denver with him, or was it just not meshing? Like I felt like maybe he didn't get the fair shakes there.
I don't think he
It's a
did.
mix of both.
Sean Payne was available.
We got one. Do you want to? We could do 2 tonight.
We'll do 2.
We'll do 2.
So,
The 10-year-old. No. We want to do
we
2.
want that one too. We want that one.
Yeah.
We like yours too.
We're gonna do both.
But
We'll
we
do both.
promised because
Yep.
I didn't know where you were.
Ooh.
Look, you can go, hey, Apple or Siri or Alexa, Google. Hey, Google.
Hey, Google to yourself, right? You just Google the text. He doesn't even need a phone. That's how he sends text. He just says it and
Yes.
it goes.
By the way, Panarin scored 2 goals.
Okay.
They're up 3-0. Shesterka's not playing as quick. Quick doesn't allow goals.
Is that did they score with bread or with soup?
Oh, Panarin.
Panera bread.
Panarin.
soup.
Got it. It would be the bread bowl.
So are we
The lights are on, but nobody's home.
FTW?
The elevator doesn't reach all the floors.
Then after those pickles.
Barely reach shoulder level.
Do we think Kansas City is going to lose
Yes.
eventually?
Buffalo.
You think Buffalo?
Yeah, I think Buffalo.
I think Buffalo, that defense, Buffalo's going on a
Tampa played their heart out Monday night. That was a good game.
yeah, and I think Buffalo has more weapons than Tampa,
Oh yeah.
especially with Amari Cooper.
I
What
think-
Knox is their tight end, great tight end.
Here's my
I was
key
Dalton
point.
Kincaid.
Kincaid, my bad.
Dalton Kincaid. And the key point is that Buffalo has a well-rounded team, both on offense, both on defense. They have good weapons for Josh Allen to get those to.
And Mahomes is throwing picks.
And Mahomes is having an off year, and their defense is the only thing that's keeping Kansas City on their undefeated streak is their defense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Their offense is one of the mediocre offenses in the league.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree.
So,
But they win when they need to.
But with D Hop and everything like that,
could it revive the offense?
it's going
Maybe.
to. It's going to because
You're going to get
you saw
projected.
it with Tampa Bay. D Hop move it over. D Hop is playing better. Got a touchdown. He's gonna get better in this offense.
The fight's on Friday, not here.
Which, by the way, we're all gonna watch, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't care for it. Sorry.
But like, we're all gonna get together and watch it.
I'm gonna be at my house watching it. Probably naked.
The me and you are gonna watch it because I ain't gonna see that.
I was waiting for him to get a reaction.
Whoa.
You can come here and watch it.
All right.
And if you don't know what fight we're talking about, nice.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, update
Yeah,
real
so-
quick. The L and the B and L. My mom her chest tube is out, so it
Cool.
looks like might be coming home tomorrow.
Awesome.
So anyway,
That's
but no, the fight we're talking about is finally happening
Mike Tyson
versus Jake Paul
Mike
on
Tyson's
Netflix.
gonna knock his clock off.
Probably.
You see the lie detector where he asked Logan if he thinks if he could be Mike Tyson. He says yes, and went. He goes, well, shoot, hook him up. Do you think you could be Mike Tyson? And Jake goes, yes.
Yep.
Jake doesn't think he could be because he asked, do you think Mike Tyson is a killer at any age or still a killer? And he goes, yeah, I think he's a killer at any age. Ding, like Jake told the truth. And then they asked him, do you think you're going to beat Mike Tyson? He said yes. It was like,
Okay, Mike Tyson was going to be like a fair fight, friendly fight, until Jake Paul brought up his dead daughter.
Ooh.
And Mike Tyson's like,
Mike Tyson doesn't play this whole let's rig it.
no, Mike Tyson's like, the gloves are off. I'm holding.
I
nothing
don't rig
back.
it for money. I'm going to beat your ass and I'm going to
Yeah,
$0 for it.
Like once Jake Paul brought that up, Mike Tyson's like, "They'll holding nothing back." And I'm like, "Dude, you made the wrong mistake."
I can't wait for that fight. Like I don't care for Jake Paul and watching the
I'm
boxing,
rooting for Mike Tyson out the
but
way.
I got Netflix. I'm watching it.
Oh yeah, I have the reminders on my phone for it.
I'm coming over. You're coming over. One of the two.
We have the day off. Yeah, this is the
Oh
day-
yeah, we have the day off. Shoot, next Friday.
Yeah, because this is the day after our concert, so I have to request the day off.
I mean, I'm going for medical reasons.
Mental
I'm
health
off.
reasons.
Yeah.
My
Any,
mental health day.
any more NFL you want to bring up?
Jordan Love's out. They think his injury is a little bit more serious too, but I think he reheard it.
I want to get back to the point I was making about Buffalo.
Yeah.
You weren't done?
No, I wasn't. So
Yes.
yes, I do. Anyways, so
If you
I
drink
think
Red Bull, you'll get wings too.
that too. Anyways, what I wanted to say is that Buffalo is on a tear. I think might be the year that they might go all the way. I mean, yeah,
I think it might be Sabres. Buffalo Sabres.
the Bills, and I
You
think
think-
yeah they got the Chiefs the playoffs, but I mean they got a mediocre offense only that keep them in games with their good defense. So I mean, what else?
Talking about the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
That's like Buffalo's tearing it up.
Yeah, they're on a tear.
But I
Josh
think somebody in
Allen's playing like
Michigan's
an
got something to
MVP.
say about that because the Lions are looking like the most complete team in the league, even though they only got one loss.
I know the two front runners
I-
for MVP is Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, but another one that should be up there is Josh Allen.
Okay.
Derrick Henry's not
Derrick Henry.
one of the best odds. He's not even on the list. Yeah, tell me it's not a quarterback award when everyone on there is a quarterback, and Derrick Henry has over 1,000 yards, and he has more rushing yards himself than like 15 teams.
Yeah.
That's honestly bullcrap. I think he should
Yeah.
be on that list.
But he has a chance to go to 2,000 yards
For the
and
second
he's not
time.
on that list
For the second time in his career, he
Oh,
has
yeah.
a chance.
because it's a quarterback award now.
Yeah, but
Adrian Pearson was the last one to win it. What?
2012.
So you're talking 12 years ago. Since then, it's a quarterback award.
Right.
And I think that year that he won for what 2,000 yards?
Yeah.
And like
He was
28 touchdowns.
Josh Allen hasn't had a pick yet, has he?
I don't think
he
so.
had like two. Like one. I think one.
It was one or two because I know a couple weeks ago he had none.
Yeah, but he had one against the Seattle.
I have another pick for comeback player of the year, though. I wanted to bring up
What do you think?
Kyler Murray.
2.
Hold up. Remember, Black Ops just came out, so we gotta wait.
They're still winning.
Black Ops just came out.
They're still winning. They were 2-4. They
So
haven't lost
far,
since
Josh
Green Bay.
Allen's stats is 2,001 yards.
I think Sam
17
Darnold gets it.
touchdowns and 2 picks.
That's a good pick. I'm just saying you got to throw Kyler Murray in
But
there
he
too.
went like Josh Allen went what almost like what 7-8 games without a pick.
I think Josh Allen should be leading MVP. I think Sam Darnold, but I think Sam Darnold's going to get comeback player of the year.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's another one.
Some-
Come back for the year. I think it should be.
He didn't play last year. And he's lighting it up. The job wasn't even his in Minnesota.
No.
Oh yeah, I think he's the first year winner. But I mean,
He's going somewhere next year because they're going to give the reins to JJ McCarthy. That's why
Josh
he's out.
Allen had a pick against Seattle and Miami. Sorry.
is it Thomas?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I can read
two.
it.
I just know a couple weeks ago when we talked about it, he had none.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And I don't have Josh Allen on my fantasy, so I haven't really followed Josh Allen.
Oh, he
I know they're winning. That's all I
one
know.
against Miami, one against Seattle.
And they play Indianapolis tomorrow.
That's a win.
Should be.
Which, by the way, we all agree Anthony Richardson should have got way more time. If Daniel Jones is getting large contracts, why is Anthony Richardson getting benched after 10 games?
I'm about to choose violence.
That's funny.
What?
Jay says you're making me sick talking about Josh Allen with all the Josh Allen talk.
Oh, because he's a Miami fan.
Yeah, he's a Dolphins fan.
All right, well then we'll move on to the big board because I don't think we have any NFL news. So trade deadlines and stuff like that.
I'm blind. I can't read it.
Did you want to
I already
read?
read him.
He read them.
I can't hear.
Did you want to read? Did you want to go over some of the trade deadlines that like?
Preston Smith was not shocking, but it was surprising kind of because he hadn't been playing that well.
See, the Lions did what I thought they were going to do.
All right, Denny Green.
Huh?
They are who we thought they were.
But
Remember
no,
that
but
speech?
yeah, right. But
Yeah.
when I mentioned the that GM thing that we watched or
Yeah.
whatever that I watched where it said they should go all in for Myles Garrett. So I was like, no, you're going for Zadarius Smith, who's going to cost you less, help you on that defensive line for when Aiden Hutchinson
Yeah.
was gone, and cost less. And
Yep.
that's exactly what they did. They
Yep.
traded less to get Zadarius Smith.
Mhm.
And I thought that's exactly what they would do. You want to get a pass rusher. We know as Packer fans, Zadarius Smith was great with us.
Yeah.
He's going to be good for them
Yep.
for the little haul that you need him
Keeps hitting my
the
mic.
rest of the season.
Yep.
And
And
jazz hands over there.
and
Keeps
then-
hitting my mic.
Preston Smith going to Pittsburgh. He's going to get utilized very well. Pittsburgh knows how to utilize linebackers. So,
Didn't Pittsburgh also get a receiver? Mike Williams.
Mike Williams from
From
the
the
Jets.
Jets.
Almost said Chargers. That's
Well, because they got Devontae. They don't need Mike Williams.
And
You
then-
got Devontae. You
well,
have him.
I think
you have
Rodgers
Brees
had a lot
Hall,
to do
you
with
have
that.
You have the tight end. You have Alan Lazard. Mike Williams.
Well, I
don't
think
need to
Rodgers
play.
had a lot to do with that too because he threw him under the bus for running the wrong route. When it was
Well, I mean, Mike Williams is also number 4, so he's not
Yeah.
going to get many targets anyway between the 4 or the tight end and the 3 receivers.
Yep. Yep.
Under the bus. Is Aaron Rodgers under the bus?
Oh yeah. Like
Look, his last season in
tossed
Green-
under the bus.
Under the bus. Guess who came from the? Guess who the bus played for? Pittsburgh. You
Pittsburgh.
like that?
Ah.
Full circle.
No, but his last season in Green Bay, he threw people under the bus. Oh, all these young receivers are wrong on the run routes. Dude, you overshot him like 80%. So 80% of them is all them? No.
No.
A lot of it's you overthrowing.
But look at those young receivers playing with Jordan Love.
Exactly.
They're
Again,
good.
you
Doing well.
if it's once in a while, you could blame the wrong route being ran. But if it's 80% of your throws are overthrown and not dropped, or incompletions or whatever, or it's overthrown, you can't blame the
No.
receivers running the route 80% of the time because then they won't be NFL receivers for very long.
You can't
Oh.
say you're running a go route and you overthrow him by 10 yards. Oh, it's a receiver's
Oh, he
fault.
slowed down. It's the receiver's fault. No,
No,
Rodgers,
you can't
it's your
do
fault.
that.
Yeah, I agree.
So you want to go to the big board?
Yeah.
All right, big
It
board.
says bone, doesn't it?
Huh?
Board.
Board. I don't think she forgot the D.
No.
Oh.
Oh,
No,
okay.
but she still kind of spelled
Wow.
board
Well,
wrong.
she did. Well, it's fine.
She's
Yeah,
thinking
but-
board. And it went downhill. Anyway,
I like it.
Most of the stuff like is crooked.
I don't know. It started off straight. And it's
Went near you.
you see
We have the
everything-
camera focused on our sheet over here, our board. Sometimes it's perfect penmanship, and other times it's slants. I'm like, I don't know.
And sometimes it's a 10-year-old, but it's still legible.
It is legible. We can read
It's
it.
not legible for me when I write it, I should say. So
I
the
think
big
you're- I
board,
think you're seeing 3 letters over there.
the big board. I wanted to say
The big bore.
the worst coaching, but I think what we said is the
Underwhelming.
the underwhelming coaching performances. Because
Of
worst
hires.
coaching is like, okay, we know Nick Saban, this person, whatever. But underwhelming, people who came in with big expectations, maybe their second stint with a different team, like you talked about earlier, one guy that you're probably going to bring up
Oh yeah.
I got
with the
2.
Broncos. I got a few, you got a few. Who wants to start off first?
I'll go. Well, we got like maybe a couple.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
First one was going in because they had big expectations because what he did with the Broncos back in the late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, and stuff like that was Mike Shanahan to the Washington Redskins, now Commanders. I'm still calling them the Redskins. Whatever.
At the time, they were the Redskins, so I'll allow it.
Anyways, yeah, it just went big expectations, didn't pan out. It just, I think he had maybe one winning season within his 4 years.
I mean, Mike Shanahan,
Sorry.
yes, right?
I
thought
can't read
another
that
person you were gonna
comment.
bring up,
It
and you
glared
still
everything
might
with
bring up was
glasses.
a former coach of the Broncos, went to somebody else.
I can't read the
I
comment.
don't know if you thought that was.
Oh yeah,
underwhelming.
John Fox to the Bears.
I think John Fox was underwhelming because of what he did in
Yeah.
Denver, but I think he did okay.
Adam Gase. For
That-
both teams that he got hired for.
That's who I was gonna bring up, by the way. Adam Gase.
Jets and Dolphins. Anyway, we can get to that. Figure finishers.
All right. So because of Mike Shanahan didn't do well, he did well with Denver, but had big expectations with Commanders and fizzled. And same thing with John Fox. They thought he's going to rebuild the underwhelming organization of Chicago, but did 4 years and didn't do nothing and was fired.
Right. Yeah, at least got 4 years. One person.
One thing I want to bring up is that his coaching staff, Mike Shannon's coaching staff is actually mostly all head coaches except for one.
Oh yeah,
His offensive coaching staff is all head coaches except for one person.
right.
He's currently the OC of the Texans.
I want to throw out there, Bill or Mr. Google
Oh man,
just gave us an idea for the punishment, and I'm already voting yes on this one.
I am too. I seen the text.
So one of the punishments for either picks for this fantasy, loser has to do the intro on helium.
That's a punishment? That's more like a reward.
Oh, but it's great.
You've never done an intro before, so if you lose, you got to do it.
Yeah, there you go. If you lose, you have to actually talk.
It ain't gonna be a punishment for us.
I said a moonshine incident, but he can't do the moonshine one.
No, we can.
I mean, he can, but woo!
I'm gonna need someplace to stay if that happens. If I do the moonshine one.
You had that pickle today.
Yeah. It was all right. Yeah.
So do you want to go? So you had those two, right?
Yeah.
Did you want to go with your next one?
Well, I have a couple now, and I've got my ear started, but I won't elaborate on it. First one I want to bring up was Joe Gibbs when he got hired back with Washington in the early 2000s. A lot of high expectations. They did get to the playoffs, but I just thought it was just a weird hire, and I don't really think it was underperforming. I think
more like a nostalgia hire than
yeah,
anything.
they were just. I think Dan Snyder panicked and was like, "Hey, do you want to come back to coaching? I know you own NASCAR team, but they just didn't." Yeah, but the one thing that came in with a lot of hype was Bill Parcells to the Dallas Cowboys in 2003.
Yes.
They were talking Super Bowl. This was going to change them around. At that point, they hadn't been to the Super Bowl in 7 years, which has added more now since then. But not throwing shade at the Cowboys, but there was just so much hype behind him, and nothing happened.
Oh yeah.
And it was like he wanted to work with Quincy Carter as quarterback. He pretty much ran Emmitt Smith out of Dallas because he didn't want him. He's like, no, I don't want this old running back. I got other players that I can bring in. And he brought in some key receivers like Keyshawn Johnson, Terry Glenn back then. I know I'm naming names that you probably don't know. I know he knows some of them. Just never really eclipsed. They had Drew Bledsoe at one point. And what probably saved his job was getting Tony Romo off the bench. Not saying Bledsoe was a bad quarterback, but he was over the hill a little bit, not playing well. Let's get Romo in there and see what happens. And then, you know what happened after that? They still didn't win, but they were a much better team.
Right.
I want to bring up one from the Packers. You remember Ray Rhodes? 1999. We go 8-8 after 2 years removed from the Super Bowl loss. We had just lost to the 49ers off that.
And who was the coach? It was no. What's Holmgren?
Holmgren had just left with the Seattle.
Right. We lost Holmgren.
Yeah.
And then
Ray Rhodes was the guy
for a year, right?
For a year, and then we hired Mike Sherman.
Sherman for a while, then McCarthy, right?
And then before we seem to hire guys with M names.
Matt LaFleur,
Mike Sherman, Matt LaFleur, Mike McCarthy,
Mike Holmgren.
I really hope my wife doesn't get hired there because her first name begins with
Hey,
first woman coach, right? So John Gruden.
Yes.
Times.
We've talked about this. John Gruden's Super Bowl in Tampa was not his.
No.
It was Tony Dungy, and it proves it because Tony Dungy took the Colts and made it a great team.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And what did John Gruden do? Fail out in Tampa, go to LA or Vegas, and fail out in Vegas.
Do you think if that didn't happen, he still would have flanked out though? The racist comments. And
yes.
Stuff. You think so? I mean, they were building towards something.
I think he was building towards something better. Yeah. Yes. So I don't think he would have been underwhelming and in Vegas.
Yeah.
Or Oakland or wherever they were at the time. I don't remember.
Underwhelming after the Super Bowl win with Tampa, very much so.
Right. Because it wasn't his team. Right. Tony Dungy built that team, built the discipline, built everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were building something with the Raiders.
They were.
But who also was their GM at the time? Do you remember Mike Mayock?
Yeah.
Who does draft analysis.
Oh yeah.
So I think him and Gruden made a good team.
Yeah.
But once you lost the coach, then you lost the GM.
Yep.
Because once you lost the coach to develop these teams, right? You could bring whoever you want in off the draft, and you're probably picking good people because you are a draft expert. But now you got to pick for that coach.
Right. The he just took the drink away.
I just want to mention, by the way, you're gonna see a drink on my table. Matt Rife drinks this drink on Kill Tony.
And it's show it to the camera. Show it to the camera.
Oh, it's Liquid Death Water.
If it gets us canceled, it gets us canceled.
Liquid Death Water.
Water.
Well,
H2O. H2O.
but yeah, so yeah, definitely John Gruden.
H2O. We were just going in the time for a second.
So is that all you got, or
I got a couple more that I'm gonna give you some time to talk. So go ahead.
okay? So one of my probably you're gonna say? Were you gonna say any more on Jay Rhodes? We kind of went off the John.
I didn't
Gruden.
really went with Ray Rhodes as much, but I wanted to talk about Gruden a little bit. He wanted to bring in veteran players to teach the young guys, but he never replaced those veterans with young guys.
Yeah.
So how do you expect these guys to learn? He did it more with the Raiders when he got rehired back there.
Didn't he also have Antonio Brown? Was he the reason, or was
No,
Antonio
I don't-
right
He
before
was
him?
there with Antonio Brown, but I don't know if Gruden was the reason why. Antonio
I don't know. He
Brown-
said it was him or Mike Matt. It was somebody. It was whatever. and
Yeah,
he
but
went crazy.
He went crazy then, so Pittsburgh didn't want
He
it.
probably got on the ayahuasca.
His feet, he had cold feet, and
He got cold feet. That cryo chamber.
yeah. So that was it. I was just saying that he learned from his mistakes in Tampa. I do agree that he was building something with the Raiders that second time, but
Yeah.
we'll never know what happened because he got let go because of the comments that he made or supposed or
In the
that he sent.
emails.
in the emails.
Sounds like Hillary.
I was just gonna say that we're off the election, but yeah, that's no. Jeff Fisher was another one, but that's about all.
I think everywhere he went, he was pretty much
What the Titans in late '90s, early 2000s.
right. But after
okay,
that,
but
like
after
the
that, no.
Rams and what he had with golf, and then even McVay couldn't help out golf. He did go to the Super Bowl, but then he went to the Lions. He's playing way better now than he
Yeah.
did then. It's always about schemes too, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So go ahead.
Because based on what I brought up is that he had this old persona back like a few years, like up until like 5-6 years ago. You had this persona of this mentality. The quarterback has to fit the coach's system. Not we have to find a system that fits the quarterback.
Right. So one of mine is Matt Nagy.
Yes.
I think Matt Nagy well underperformed in Chicago. Now, granted, it's always GM too, bringing the right people. But I think before that, wasn't he the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs? Or right after that, he went with the Chiefs?
He was the offensive coordinator before the Chiefs. Then right after he got fired, he went after.
He
went
went
right-
after the Chiefs.
he
After the
went right
Bears, he
back.
went to the Chiefs.
Matt Nagy.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
the
was Chiefs,
offensive
then Bears, then
assistant.
back to the Chiefs,
Yeah.
right? And he did great as offensive coordinator with the Chiefs. I mean, one of Pat Mahomes' better seasons
I remember
were
no,
with Matt Nagy.
Eric Bieniemy was the offensive
Eric
coordinator.
Bellamy.
Bellamy, I like it.
Bieniemy.
There's an L.
No, there's no L.
I
Look
think
up
it's
his
in-
name. It's Bieniemy.
Benemy. Bend in me. Oh, yucky. Oh, yucky. Yeah,
He
go
was-
Bama. Roll Tide.
Oh, come on, LSU.
I picked Bama. Sorry, but I don't want to do a punishment.
I think he's on UCLA.
I already have one coming to me. I don't want to do more.
Bellamy, yes. Bellamy was that. Eric Bellamy is someone else, so shut your mouth. So there was an Eric Bellamy. Thank you very much.
Somebody was right.
Nope, I was right too. There's an Eric Bellamy. Thank you very much. MTV, thank you. Have a good day. On Keenan and Kel. Have a good day. You can be on the podcast. 2 morons. Let's go. Sit back.
Oh, he threw shade at your team.
Rangers, who cares? They're up 3-0.
That's probably the best. Bama's up 14-6 on LSU. Tennessee's beat Mississippi State 20-7. Those are the games we're following right now.
So, but anyway, Matt Nagy did great as an offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Again, and I proved you could be a good coordinator and a horrible head coach.
Yep.
Another good, Adam Gase. I wanted to bring him up. He was okay as a coordinator, decent as a coordinator. But I think when he went to the Jets, they also made him GM too, where like he had a little bit more control than most head coaches.
Ugh.
He was not good.
No.
Another person that I think was underperforming, Ron Rivera.
Yeah.
Not with just with the Panthers even. He had a couple good seasons with Cam Newton. He had a couple great seasons with Cam Newton. But other than that, what did he do before Cam Newton? Nothing. What did he do when he went to Washington? Nothing.
I think Cam Newton ran himself out of the league, but that's
Right.
just me. But,
I don't coach.
right.
And this is what you see a lot of places, Doc. Other head coaches getting jobs in other sports they have done with certain players.
Oh yeah.
John Fox. Other people, they're like, oh, they've done good. Let's bring them back in, and then they're underperforming.
Yeah, but
I think another underwhelming performance, not for most of his career, but when he didn't have one player. And I told you who this is.
Mhm.
Bill Belichick. No Tom Brady, you don't have a great coach.
No.
You have a great defensive coordinator. His defense has always been good, even with Matt Jones and Cam Newton in there. When Brady left, he still had a great defense. But Tom Brady won a Super Bowl without him. He hasn't sniffed the playoffs without Tom Brady.
He has been when he was a coordinator with Bill Parcells. But like you're saying, head coach, no. He's just mediocre.
What they promoted him. Cleveland did horrible.
Cleveland did horrible. He was with the Giants as the DC.
He was with the Jets and retired. The next day. The next
day, like
well, the next week, whatever it was on the napkin.
That was a smart hire because we've seen how the history's proven with the Jets since then.
Right, but again, no Tom Brady. Now, granted, it was a great find. Do I think Belichick helped develop him and bring out the best in him? Probably, but I think that's also Tom Brady bringing out the Kobe Bryant, if you will, the Michael Jordan, the competitor in him. I think a lot of that was Tom Brady wanting to get better.
Yep.
And be better. Right? It wasn't just coaching. Because yes, you could coach these guys and be great for them. But they have to want it as well.
Mhm.
I think Belichick is a great coach because of Brady.
Yep.
I feel like if you didn't have Brady, you don't talk about Belichick at all.
Yeah.
That's just me.
No, I agree. I completely agree. And I think
And then we could throw the obvious Nick Saban, horrible hire. Bill O'Brien, once he started becoming the GM and stuff.
Yes, once before he was GM of the Texans, he did very well
As a head coach, but then he started bringing in the personnel. Horrible.
Oh yeah.
well, and we brought this up because you don't think coaches should get fired after one season. But this one happened to get fired before halfway through the season. That was Urban Meyer.
What Steve Wilkes?
But that was bad.
That was terribly
That
bad.
was terrible.
Okay, what about Steve
Urban
Wilkes?
Meyer's probably one of the worst hires for an NFL ever.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the head coach.
And I feel like Nick Saban only got fired because he didn't get Drew Brees.
Probably. Go ahead, Jake.
Steve Wilkes. He was the head coach of the. So he was just hired right after Bruce Arians retired, and he was a 1 year wonder.
Where was he at again?
Arizona.
That's right. Steve Wilkes was Arizona.
Yep.
Yes.
Great coordinator.
When you get freaking hired and then you're like, yes, I'll take the job, and then you resign, like your buddy over there, your god, Bill Belichick, because you praises Bill Belichick, and you take it back, you're a horrible hire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
But he did awful in freaking Denver.
And Raiders. I wouldn't say awful with the Raiders. He was making some dumb decisions.
Yeah. So I think
Good win over there, Mr. Only One to Pick Alabama.
All right. 21-6.
So the thing is with Steve Wilkes, his only head coach,
I tried telling them that. No, I'm just
his
kidding.
lone season at Arizona was, I think he finished
3-13.
But then
3-13.
didn't he also become like the interim general of the Panthers? And they didn't hire him?
Interim head coach of the Panthers.
He was the interim head coach
That's
of the
what I meant.
Panthers.
I said general manager because
So when they fired Frank Wright last year, he became the interim
Yes.
head coach, and they won more games with him than they did with Wright.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they wanted him to be the head
that
coach.
was the Colts, right?
No, the Panthers.
Panthers. Okay.
And they wanted him to be the coach, and they said, no, we're going to hire
Oh,
this
I'm
guy.
thinking Frank Wright when he was with the Colts.
Yeah.
My bad.
That's,
And that's why he got fired after not even a whole season because
Yeah.
they're
I
like,
think.
oh, he underperformed, but you got to give him time. Like he had Andrew Luck though too some of those years.
And the only reason like Seabrooks was fired is because of they got the number 1 overall pick, Kyler Murray, and they wanted Kingsbury
Kingsbury, yes.
right into Coach
But-
Murray.
But
So,
let's go back to Steve Wilkes. I was one of those people that's like, why do you fire a guy who got them to start winning?
Yeah, they were
They
competing.
were losing and they were competing, and you're like, yeah, we don't want this guy.
oh yeah,
Clearly, he had the locker room.
Speaking
That's
of-
a good coach. You had a coach that wasn't winning, and then a coach interim comes in and you win. Which brings me back to what team do you think I'm going to talk about right now?
the Raiders.
No, we're same state. Who was the interim coach and got fired? Badgers. Jim Leonard
Oh yeah,
started winning when they fired Paul Chris. Started winning. Longtime Badger, defensive coordinator, fired him and brings in Luke Fickle. And then Luke Fickle gets rid of him.
Yep.
So
But if you're winning with a interim coach, shouldn't that be the sign? Maybe we should hire this guy.
yes,
Clearly
exactly.
you weren't winning before him, and he started winning with the same team.
So you bring up the similar story between both stories is that when John Gruden was fired, the special teams coordinator was hired interim head coach of the Raiders, and he helped bring them, I think, to the playoffs.
Yeah,
And they didn't hire him at
same
all.
with those last year. They fired the coach, whatever, and then Antonio Pierce, right?
Yeah.
Became the head coach.
And they learned from learned their lesson. Like, okay,
But they still not doing good. It worked. That's not an underwhelming performance. That's an underwhelming GM performance. Yeah, we're talking about. Well, no, we switched to like interim coaches who did good and should have gotten the job, like Steve Wilkes and then the Jim Leonard I just mentioned. But because it was all started with Frank Reich, who got fired, and another woman. But no, let's talk about that one. That's an underwhelming GM and owner performance, firing a guy who wins a Super Bowl.
Got two
Super Bowls.
Two Super Bowls.
Right, but I mean, you still fire a guy who is still winning.
Yeah.
that's because he wanted to get Jerry's ego.
I'm not getting the credit.
Yeah,
Then you got. Yes. Not yet.
Look,
he's too busy
look.
running the country.
by the way, if you heard Mr. Go, he said Trump owning a football team. He is a Trump fan, but he also admits that Trump is very egotistical.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people can say that.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm huge. I'm just huge. Everywhere you go, I'm there.
I saw a shirt, the best shirt or the best team or something like that. I can't remember what.
Did someone comment?
We got Google.
Okay, I didn't know.
Did you not see that he was here?
So while he looks at the comments and gets us ready, I do want to plug B&L Creative Designs since they are here as well.
One of the best.
So anything for your woodworking needs, your t-shirts. So here's the shirts right here. We got the bracelets. My 10-year-old daughter made some bracelets as well that she sells. So this one says, right. This one says Jordan. If someone wants to read that closer. This one says Christmas. So for the holidays. And this one says, this one's red, white, and blue and says Navy. Those are like $3 bracelets. Actually, we're probably selling those for $5, but they also do rosary bracelets, prayer bracelets, any kind of shirts, cutting boards. It is becoming, Christmas and Thanksgiving. Get some cutting boards for your turkey, your brisket, your ham, whatever you want. They also have lanterns, interchangeable face with, again, Thanksgiving. You can have pumpkins, you can have cornucopias, you can have turkeys, you can have Christmas trees, Santa Claus, whatever you
All
like.
right, Oprah Winfrey. What are we doing here?
Krampus. So B&L Creative Designs on Facebook or BL Creative Design Shop on Etsy.
Yep.
Yes, and send the L for prayers. A lot of the proceeds, any of the revenue proceeds, I should say. So anything that doesn't go towards the cost is going towards some of the medical expenses as well for that. We, again, if you get our shirts, we don't get any of the money. That goes straight to B&L for helping with the medical expenses as well.
Yep.
So if you want my face, if you want Jake's face, or if you want Carl's face, or all three of our faces on your shirt, go ahead. You're going to get all three, but at least if you want one of us.
So Jason, Greg Schiano,
Yes.
Ron Marinelli,
The last one makes me laugh. That's what made me laugh.
Matt Patricia. I want to talk about Matt Patricia, right? So Matt Patricia goes back to the Bill Belichick coaching tree with Josh McDaniels.
Oh yeah.
They all failed. And that proves that I don't think Belichick was a great coach. He has great discipline, great defenses.
Do you think Mayo's gonna work out?
Again, is he part of the Belichick coaching tree?
Oh,
He was a player. He was a player, but he was never a coach under Belichick. I think the tree with Matt LaFleur and
I think that came from
And
Denny
Matt-
Green too.
but who was the Matt LaFleur, the Sean McVay, and the
Shanahan.
Shanahan tree?
That was the
Kyle
Shanahan.
Shanahan tree,
Kyle Shanahan tree.
and that was part of the 2013 Washington offensive coaching staff.
But Kyle Shanahan wasn't the coach then, was he?
No, I think that was
Mike Shanahan.
Mike Shanahan.
So it's the Mike Shanahan
And
coaching
Shanahan.
tree. But yeah, you got 3 coaches that all coach together over there, and look how great he has the Packers. Who thought what last year? Oh, it's Jordan Love and no name receivers went to the playoffs and still doing good with Malik Willis when he comes in.
Oh yeah.
You have McVay, who is probably the smartest coach in NFL because he can just go fourth quarter with 3 minutes left. 7 years ago, when we were playing this team, we ran this play and they ran that defense. This dude's like a genius.
Oh yeah.
This dude remembers stuff.
He was the youngest.
And then
head
Kyle
coach in NFL
Shanahan's a
history.
hell of a coach.
Yep.
I mean, you
He's-
hit the last pick in the draft
And you hit a gem.
and you hit a gen with, I mean, that's a GM too. But at the same time, I think that whole organization with John Lynch and him is a great match.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we do big boards of great coaches, Shanahan's up there. Andy Reid's up there.
I watch
Right. But I'm saying Andy Reid's up there. Mike Holmgren's up there. I mean, when you talk about GM, great moves too. We're going to talk about smart GMs and everything real quick. How smart was the GM? Hey, I'll give you a 4th round pick for Brett Favre. You don't get Brett Favre.
You're done.
Are we talking about Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love? Because what did they do with Aaron Rodgers? 3-4 years? Boom, started.
I see
3-4
what he
years with
commented.
Jordan Love?
starting.
Started. And they look good, right?
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he
and
was.
where's he at?
Miami.
Didn't he start off a ball boy at one point?
Yeah, he was like an intern ball boy or
He's a
something.
for
ball
Denver.
boy, and now he's a head for Denver. Yes,
Denver.
and now he's a head coach, and he's a good head coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he may not shower until one day a week or something like that, but he mentioned that he only showered like on Wednesdays or something.
I don't know why he said
He
that.
doesn't do that now as a
No.
head coach, but before he was a head coach, he only showered like one day a week.
His press
but again,
conferences are awesome.
why did
by
he
the
say
way.
he only showered one day a week? Because it was I'm watching film, I'm doing this, I'm doing
He's
this.
grinding away?
He's grinding away. Now he's the head coach, and now he can't get away with showering one day a week.
Well, he looked all pretty when he got hired. Now he looks like he's been smoking like
He
Two
looks like a
cracks.
bum.
he's
He
been-
just
looks like
fucking
a
7
bum.
packs a day.
He looks like he doesn't shower again.
no. And if it sucks because we talk about the Dolphins this year and the Tua injury and
He's
everything
still
like
a
that.
good coach.
He's still a good coach. I think you give him one more year. You don't fire him at the end.
No,
of the year.
because he still gives you chances when you got Skylar Thompson and Matt Moore and whoever throwing in there.
Skylar Thompson went into Buffalo a couple of years ago, almost won a playoff game.
And who was the coach?
Mike McDaniel,
I think that was probably his first year too.
first or second, I don't know. Jake can
But
help
again,
us with that.
he's a good coach.
Yeah,
See,
he
there's
is.
there's a thing where you can have a great coach. You know who I
Yeah,
think we're going to
2022.
talk about?
For sure. Okay.
You know who I think we're going to talk about great coaches? Minnesota's coach,
Oh yeah.
Kevin
O'Connell.
Under
O'Connell.
the McVay coaching tree.
But you know why I think he's a great coach? Look what he's done with Sam Darnold.
Oh yeah.
He's got the locker room. That
Oh,
team
look what he's
loves
done
him.
with all 3 quarterbacks he's played with.
He's still young enough. He could go out there and play quarterback.
Again, when we talk about
I mean,
great
he's like
coaches,
34, 35.
when we
but-
talk about great coaches in maybe a couple weeks or so, maybe near the end of the season, whenever we decide to do that, maybe next week's big board, whatever we do, I think we decide to underrated songs or something because we're singing Amish Paradise, Jake. So,
Yeah.
but when you talk about great coaches, I don't mean like okay, their career's over. Right now, you're talking probably what we're talking about McVay right now. We're talking about Minnesota's coach. Dan Campbell
You
took
want
that
a little
locker room
fun
and
fact
great.
by Minnesota's
You're
coach?
talking about Kyle Shanahan. You're talking about Mike McDaniel. There's 5. Andy Reid still coaching. There's 6. You got 6 good coaches right there.
Yep.
And that's without us thinking. And those are current active coaches.
Yep.
All right, you want to know a little fun fact about Kevin O'Connell, Minnesota's head coach?
If you're talking to the mic and not to the side of it, sure.
Whatever. Anyways, so you know how Joe Flacco still
We have to
playing-
tell you every week, dude. I'm just kidding.
Piss
We
off.
need the bigger mics.
Okay, so you know how Joe Flacco is still playing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Connell was drafted in the same draft as he was.
Jeez. Nice.
Dang.
All right, let's go in the NCAA.
We'll bring up the upset. Sorry, Jackie. The U lost to
Miami went down to Georgia Tech.
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
you were gonna skip there.
Georgia
Yeah.
lost to Ole Miss.
Was it in what?
Georgia lost by like 12.
28-10.
18. It was 12
It-
last time I really paid attention.
That's how bad it was, right? Great
Um,
coach. One last comment about great coaches, Mike Tomlin. I completely agree with that.
Great coach.
He's going to get
28
another
to
winning
23.
season.
I'm sorry if you haven't had a losing season in like 12 years,
He's never had a losing season.
right? Even if you missed the playoffs, that's what I'm saying. If you haven't
Yeah.
had a losing season, you're a great coach. I don't
Oh,
care
yeah.
if you finish 8-8 3 of those seasons. You haven't had a losing season. No matter who your quarterback is.
Hall of Fame for sure.
You had
Sorry.
Mason Rudolph one year.
He's had
He
a
had
quarterback
Duck
since Roethlisberger.
Hodges.
Huh?
Duck Hodges.
He would have had, I think, again, Dwayne Haskins.
I mean,
Who would have
he's got-
known?
He's got two good ones right now.
Exactly. And he's turned Justin Fields into a good quarterback.
Yep.
And he's turned around the Russell Wilson.
But let's go back to some of these games, right?
Miami loses.
I want to start about the Miami game.
Okay.
That's the big one, right? They
Again,
lost to
sorry,
Georgia-
Jackie.
That loss to Georgia Tech proves that Georgia Tech's not a pushover. They're
Oh, yeah.
building something. That's their key win. In fact, you have to. I think they mentioned it on this game or a different game. You have to have a key win to show that you're building something. Maybe that was you telling me that they were talking about it.
Oh, they was talking about Indiana beat Michigan today.
Right. Indiana beat Michigan.
Yep.
And Michigan gave them a run.
Yeah.
I think this is the first
20
time.
to 15.
I think this
Look
is,
up Google. I
and
don't
it
lie.
wasn't even that. It was even closer than that. Most
Yeah, it was.
it
It
was-
was.
It just happened to be a couple 4 and outs.
Georgia lost to Ole Miss. What does that mean from the Georgia Texas
Okay.
You want to go back? We'll go back to the ACC.
We'll
come
go back to the
that.
ACC. I want to talk about what Google said.
Okay.
So, what does it mean about the Georgia Texas game? Texas had a bad game.
Texas only lost one game, correct?
Correct.
And that was Georgia.
That's correct.
Georgia
Georgia
now
lost.
has 2 losses, I think, in conference, right?
Yeah, but Georgia beat them by
But does Georgia have 2 losses in conference? Okay, Texas is ranked higher than them, even in the playoffs.
Georgia just has
What's that say is Texas had a bad game. Georgia's now have 2 losses. Texas has 1.
Both in
This
conference.
SEC, by the way, is probably like one of the
Best.
playoff committee is having a freaking orgasm. Okay,
Yeah.
because they might be able to get 6 damn SEC teams in because they're all beating each other up.
Oh
Yeah. And Tennessee's loving
And
this
this is
result.
great. To be honest, when we start talking about the 12-game playoff, this is probably the best scenario because you have these SEC teams who are beating each other up, and any given day they could just outperform most of these teams.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You have Texas who can outperform anyone in the nation. You have Ole Miss who can outperform anyone in the nation. You have Alabama who the reason I picked them to lose is because they were struggling and now they're just dominating LSU. Who LSU looks like they could be anyone in the nation.
Yep.
You have Georgia who looks like anyone. You have Tennessee. You have like 7 teams in the SEC who looks like they could beat anybody.
Right.
Now you're going to get but they're better than this team. They're better than this team.
You're not even bringing up Arkansas, Vanderbilt, and South Carolina, who could do that too.
I guarantee you at the end of this year, you're going to have people going, do we really need the at-large bid of BYU or not BYU, Boise State,
What'd you say?
who's not in a Power 5 team? Because they're going to look at this and go, does a Boise State have a chance at a team that missed it in, let's say, Georgia? Do they? Yeah, they took Oregon to the limit, but Oregon hasn't been the same team then. I guarantee you if they played them now, Oregon would destroy Boise State.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Most likely, right?
Right.
Because they've been playing better. You're going to have them look. They're not going to expand the playoffs from 12. They're not
No,
going to.
no, they're not.
But you're going to have them look at the way they look at this, go,
I
do we
think the
need the
reason
at-large
why
bid
it's 12
because you were missing an SEC team who could probably outperform the number 4 team or the
Oh, yeah.
number 5 team because at any given day, this team is just one of these SEC teams is learning. That's what I think we're really learning about the SEC, adding Texas, who, by the way, a lot of people thought, oh, they're in the real conference now. They won like what should have been 55-0 tonight. That they destroyed Florida. I mean, absolutely. Now, granted, Florida's not the team they were, but you're talking about, oh, they're in the wrong conference, and even
You're
Florida's
talking
going to
about
give
a
them.
Florida team that took Georgia to all 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Ole Miss, yeah. Ole Miss is a team. Lane Kiffin, Daniel Tosh, whoever you want to call him, you got that team rolling. And again, if you want to talk about underrated, overrated quarter or coaches and stuff, if you're talking about college, that Nick Saban coaching tree, Kirby Smart, Lane Kiffin, yeah. Let's talk about the those two.
I mean,
You can talk about Sarkisian in Texas, who was also Alabama.
Yep.
You got 3 SEC coaches who are going to make the playoffs most likely.
oh yeah,
Yep.
I mean, the only thing now is Texas wins out, they're in it.
oh yeah.
Who are they playing? Because all these teams are getting 2 losses in conference.
Yeah, I'm looking at the team right now, Tennessee.
So Texas and Tennessee,
Maybe.
sign me up.
Oh yeah.
Maybe. And I think
Sign us up and send us to that game, please. Maybe. You put a defense against Georgia, they don't win.
yeah, Kentucky proved that.
Ole Miss has proven that.
Yep.
Again, do you go in going, we can dominate because these teams, this
Bama
isn't the
proved
Georgia
that
team
when
of
they beat the
before.
brakes off of Georgia.
But you look at it, this isn't the Georgia team of before. You got to realize they're kids. So do they come in all cocky sometimes? Do they come in? And maybe the coach goes, you know what? Fine. Whatever happens, happens. You're going to get knocked down a couple pegs. And look at that. Now they're fucking running away with teams because they got knocked down with Georgia. And maybe they don't lose another game and they win the national championships. Right now, they are in the driver's seat to go to the championship game. They got 1 conference loss to Georgia, who now has 2 conference losses. Alabama and Ole Miss.
Yep.
So it don't matter about the tiebreaker now as long as they can win out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who Texas plays next.
They play A&M at the end of the year, but I don't know who the next game is.
Before then, who do they play that is
A&M's still in the hunt.
Yes,
A&M's
A&M still in the hunt. Ole Miss is still in the hunt. Tennessee's, I mean, everyone in the SEC is still in the hunt. We can honestly say, yes, Oregon is number 1.
Yeah.
But conference-wise, SEC is number 1.
Yes.
Because in Big Ten, who do you have?
Right now,
Oregon.
Oregon and Indiana.
Penn State,
Penn State,
Indiana, and
Ohio
Ohio State. Okay, there's 4.
That could make the playoff. That's
Who do you have in SEC?
Oh, you got like 7 teams, man.
Exactly. Ole Miss,
But you can't put 7
Georgia, Texas, Alabama.
Because right now, I think ACC,
Tennessee.
I think ACC would still go to Miami,
Tennessee just
or
lost
maybe
their starting
SMU.
quarterback.
I don't know who's leading that.
Well,
era.
Miami just lost.
So you got SMU,
And you
Miami.
still have Clemson who could go and
Yep.
take Miami. So you still have
and
that.
then you got a 1-loss Pitt that needs help if they win out
Mhm.
in the
Again,
conference.
so you still got 3 teams that are vying for the conference championship.
And then you got BYU, who wins out, is going to make it.
The Big 12
Big 12, yeah. You might
versus
have
maybe Ohio, Iowa State or Colorado.
Colorado. Kansas State could get back up there. I don't know. I haven't looked at the rankings.
Right now,
Texas
I think
Tech
it-
is
Right now, I think it would be Iowa State and
BYU.
I don't know. Iowa State lost though again.
But
Kansas.
Colorado, I only think, has 1 loss in the
So I
Big
think
12.
it'd be Colorado versus
Yeah.
BYU right now.
Yeah.
Right.
We're talking about win outs and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah. And to be
You're
perfectly-
talking about teams that performed everyone's expectations, like how you guys talked about. We dogged on Deion Sanders and
Oh,
Colorado.
Colorado has definitely proven
yeah.
us all wrong, and
Yes.
I'm glad because I did say this. I don't think Colorado's strong, but what did I tell you? He's a great damn coach and a great motivator.
defense. They're all about defense right now.
But I told you he's a great coach and a great motivator, and that's all you need.
Mhm.
Do I think Shador is going to rock it in the NFL? No.
No.
But do I think that Deion has got that team finally producing the way they need? Yes.
Right now, they're sitting at 7 wins, which is more wins now this year than the last 3-4 years combined.
Well, 1 year under Deion.
1 year under
I'm not
Deion.
counting before Deion when they were 1-25
Right.
for like 2 years.
But I'm bringing these points up because of the fact you have the SEC beat up on each other. Do you hold out a Colorado team that loses one game in the conference, and a BYU team out of the playoff at that point.
BYU is another strong school coming in this year that
And
no
then-
one had expectations for.
And SMU, Miami, Pitt, and Clemson are vying for the ACC. And then you got the Big Ten, which is not a runaway either, with Oregon, Indiana, and now Ohio State and Penn State having one loss.
Oh yeah.
So you have all these other teams that the committee is thinking about. I don't necessarily think you go more than 3 or 4 with because you got all these other teams. Indiana is 10-0. Ohio State's only losses to Oregon. Penn State's only losses to Ohio State. These guys got to meet up each other eventually.
Oh yeah.
Boise State right now tied 14-14 with Nevada. I don't know if that's that's pretty much a shocker.
As long as Boise State wins, I don't care how they
I just
win.
wanted to point that out too because we were talking. Yeah, but I just want to talk
picked
that out
Boise
because
State.
out Mr. Gentry over here, orgasm for Gentry over here.
Hey,
All these running stats. I think Nevada figured, hey, we're gonna stop the run. You gotta throw it on us.
14
Right.
carries, 106 yards, and 1 touchdown.
That's not good.
How's that not good? That's the first half.
106 yards though for 14 carries.
In
That's
the
not his
first
normal.
half?
That's not his normal. He's
Oh, I'm
usually
sorry.
10
He doesn't
yards.
have 212 on 14
Here's
carries.
the quarterback stat: 7 of 12, 71, 1 touchdown, a pick.
What's that?
9-3. Yes,
Who?
Missouri.
On poo?
On
On a poo?
Listen,
Who
also,
on who?
another game that caught my attention today, and it doesn't. Army, North Texas, right?
I don't want to talk about it.
North Texas lost 14-3, and he picked North Texas every time he either picks them or picks against them. They lose.
I lose the pick. I don't
They lose the pick, so they either win or they lose when he picks North Texas. But they struggled a little bit, North Texas, right?
Yep. Sure.
But they
Oh,
did
I don't
mention a lot of people still. You still could have Navy, Army, and a lot of people. They mentioned this. You will have an early Army Navy game.
Yeah.
So they approved that you will have it on the instead of moving the conference championship a week,
They're
you
gonna
will
move it
have
back.
You'll move the Army Navy game up
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think you'll have it 2 weeks in a row. You can't.
No, that's unreasonable. What?
Well, you have to
Oh.
because I think that's part. But no, because that's always after the selection. So that's after the regular season, I guess.
Because they're never part of the selection. They're always so bad.
No, they're always part of the military bowl, which we went to when they destroyed Virginia. It was colder when it was colder when all y'all left. I was like, it's not that bad. Everyone in the stadium left. It got bad.
Yeah, because you're huddling around for
There's
warmth.
no more warm body around you. So it was like Virginia's first bowl game in like 6-7 years, but Navy was up like 50-0 at halftime.
It was 26 degrees in the sun. When we were in the shade, it was fucking terrible.
Where were
Ouch.
you guys at?
Sounds like North Carolina.
Annapolis.
Annapolis, Maryland.
I got it
right?
from Vet Tix, and I was like, "Let's go, let's go to Annapolis, see Navy in the military bowl." I got the shirt downstairs, the damn torpedoes shirt that I wear to the gym, and it was Navy Virginia. I think it was Virginia's first bowl game in like 6-7 years, and it was cold. Getting hot chocolate, this, and it was Mr. Google and my stepbrother. Stepbrother only lived in Florida. So he went to the game. They were cold. They're like halftime. We're gone.
This was
Because
him.
it was like 45-0.
Yeah.
So they went, and I was like, "I watch the game because I know left, and it got colder. It got really cold, really fast. The next score Navy did, I was like, I'm done. I'm out.
So, little score
I read-
update for
Go ahead.
Tennessee, Mississippi
I have a bowl game
State,
story.
23-14. And the thing with Tennessee, they just lost their starting quarterback, Nico. Can't pronounce his last name.
Say Nico.
All right. So by the way, that game was Zach Abbey finished with 88 yards rushing and a military record 5 touchdowns to lead midshipmen 49-7 over Virginia. So, it was in 2017, by the way. I wanted to see what year it was.
Mine was not as bad, but
So they pulled obviously the quarterback. So here it was at halftime. At halftime, it was 28-7, and then after the third is when I left, which the Navy scored another 14 points. And by the
Right.
end of the third, it was
See, I've never been to like a college
It was
or NFL
42
football game.
to 7 at the end of the third.
we're gonna change that eventually. So yes, we
Yes.
talked about it. They lost
Yeah,
to Kansas.
We're
Upset.
gonna bring that for another upset. So you had Minnesota.
I have a bowl game story I wanted to
Oh
share.
no, go ahead.
So we were at the Outback Bowl. This was 2016 season. I remember it because the college football playoff that game was Georgia and Oklahoma. So we raced home to watch it. It was 40 degrees and raining. Michigan loses to South Carolina. We get out of there.
So
Like,
now
hey,
you're mad.
now I'm mad.
So
We
it was
go- we
your
go-
team. They lose, and you're cold and freezing.
Cold and freezing. So we go get some food. Okay. At the end of the day, I'm just exhausted.
Wait, time out. Do you remember what the promo was for Outback? If
What?
South Carolina win, did you get the shrimp or the blooming onion?
I didn't care. My team lost. I didn't want it. That's not what I was
I'd be
mad
even
about.
worse if it was blooming onion. I want the shrimp at least. At least if my
That's
team
not what I
loses,
was
can
mad
get
about.
shrimp?
That's not what I was mad about.
Go
The
ahead,
next day, 60 degrees and sunny. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
What was it?
See,
40 degrees and raining.
see, you know what it was going to be in Annapolis the next day?
Yeah.
Cold as shit still. Okay,
Yeah.
so we knew it was still going to be cold because it's December.
But we
Which, by
saw-
the way, since I get vet ticks,
Yeah.
and they do a lot of bowls, we should see what the closest bowl game is to us, and we should take a trip.
No, we're going to be sitting outside. That's not going to happen.
I mean, I'm down.
I think the closest will probably be Minneapolis, so we can go to a dome.
On a Wednesday?
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
What are your games you picked next week is on a Wednesday. That's why I brought that up.
Who is it again? Oh, Eastern Michigan and Ohio.
Yeah.
I flipped the
Excuse
coin. I was
me.
like, E comes before O, so I'm going to go with O.
Excuse me.
Oh, no.
Say it in the mic at least.
Oh, at least say it to one of us. We'll smell it eventually.
But yeah, Iowa State lost another upset. They lost 2 weeks in a row.
Not surprising they lost at Texas Tech, but the way they
Kansas.
played Kansas is. We expected Kansas to maybe make a run at the Big 12. They faded. I don't know what happened with it. Iowa State just looks lost out there.
You know who else looked lost yesterday? Iowa.
Mhm.
Lost to UCLA 3-5. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, 3-5 UCLA beat Iowa. I'm
In the
sorry.
Rose Bowl.
I'm so sorry, Iowa. So sorry for your
Someone's all
loss.
salty. Right.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody else that lost to Iowa. Man, all these people, Iowa fans. I really thought I was going to pull it away, though.
Better record, yeah. And they can run the ball. I don't know what
They
happened.
just destroyed Wisconsin, who had a good defense, supposedly.
It's 2017.
They still lost. I didn't say they got destroyed. I said they lost. No, the
Who said-
3-5 team.
I got confused because you said 3-5. I'm like, what?
No,
I heard 3 and 5.
I said
sorry.
UCLA is 3-5.
Oh,
No,
man.
if that was the score, good lord, you need to fire everybody.
Sleeper time.
I hope
No
Caleb
one stayed
Johnson
awake.
had 100 something yards.
You know what's funny?
time.
I was watching that game. I was like, oh, they didn't put it on for those kids.
Oh, dude, that's bad.
What the hell is wrong with you?
That's the only, and it proved that's the only reason Wisconsin lost to give them an early Christmas present.
Sure. Okay.
It can't be UCLA.
Okay, Ebenezer.
I will be screwed.
Be screwed.
beat my Badgers by like 50 points.
Ebenezer.
That's
like
probably
40.
going to happen next week when they play Oregon. So I can just hear that.
Did
At least it was
everyone-
Oregon.
Did
Okay, at least it's the
everyone
number
think
one
that
team.
why he was so mad at Chris is because his parents named him Ebenezer?
Maybe.
I think. Yeah. What's the score?
So does
Doesn't
it
matter.
What was it? What game?
Hey, they were up 3-0 at one point.
You were like, "Oh my God, Oregon's this." I'm like, "It's the first possession of the
I know,
game."
but I'm just shocked that they allowed 3 points in the first possession.
Maryland's not a pushover. We've talked about this. They're feisty. They're not going to win those games, but
They don't have.
They're gonna, no, they don't have Tua's brother. No,
Okay.
he,
Probably got a concussion.
he
and
couldn't.
leave.
No, he couldn't get eligibility for another year. So he's like, "F this."
Scored.
No,
Oh, you
Okay.
said
talking about I lost track of
comments.
the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, we're still on the Mike Tomlin one.
Yeah, he was talking about Mike Tomlin and Mike.
Okay.
Two of his brothers in the CFL.
And Chad Kelly is there too. Former Ole
And
Miss
And
quarterback.
I bet you he doesn't have a concussion yet.
No, but somebody else has a concussion. That's Chris Olave. His
I
fourth
thought you were
one.
gonna say Tua.
No, Chris Olave had his fourth one last week.
No, his fifth one in his entire career.
How many does Tua have in his entire career?
4.
4,
Okay. So he has
Three
almost
in
as much
one
as a
year.
receiver.
Looked yummy.
3 in
I
1
remember when he
year.
came back and he slid, and everyone was like, "Yeah, he did it.
Yeah, he did something
He
good.
learned. He learned his lesson."
Mm-hmm. Did his job right. Anything else for NCAA?
I don't think so.
I know
Let's
that
go
Miami
picks.
game though. It just, Miami had a targeting call, so the defender left. Another
Knocked
guy
off
got
his
hurt. A
helmet.
receiver got hurt.
I think that this getting behind and trying to come back bit them.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Oh,
humble.
yeah, that play. That's what it was. He got freaking called for targeting. Mr. Google, you're gonna need to hear this. Dude got hit and his helmet was coming off. The other dude came in and targeted him and knocked his helmet off. So he got
So-
flagged for
How the play went. So he
It was
got
face
face
mask.
mask. His
It
head
was
was turned
coming
lower,
off.
Then he sang clear, and all of a sudden he got blindsided.
And the call wasn't targeting. It was the penalty was for a defenseless receiver, a defenseless player hitting on a defenseless player. But because they were both during the play, you only can afford one. But then they looked at it, go, it's also under review for targeting. They saw it, targeting, ejected. One of their best defensive players.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, luckily that dude didn't get hit when his helmet was off and got rocked in the face. He's lucky about that because his helmet was coming off. And I don't agree. Like, okay, you want to call it targeting? Cool. Defenseless, I don't agree because when you're coming in full speed, you're not knowing his helmet's coming off unless it's already off.
Was he coming
if
face
you're-
to face? Behind?
He hit him below his head.
Okay.
I think NCAA over the top with targeting.
I understand because, like you said, you want to protect him for the helmet.
You gotta
You can't make that judgment,
football, man.
but you can't make that judgment call because he was coming in for the hit almost
Right.
immediately, and his helmet was coming off. Now, if his helmet was off and then you came in and you're like, okay, you could have laid up, I would understand that call.
oh yeah.
I don't understand. Now, you can still throw the flag for the face mask. You can still throw the flag for the targeting because it was targeting. So clearly, obviously, only one penalty is going to get called. I don't agree with the defenseless receiver or
Right.
defenseless player because you don't know his helmet's coming off full speed unless it's completely off.
Right.
Because if you see it completely off and I have a chance to tackle you, I'm going to hold up.
Right. Yeah.
But if I don't see your helmet coming off because I don't see your chin line. I still see your helmet on.
Well, the Lions player last week, I know it's NFL, got ejected for was it targeting or unsportsmanlike conduct
I think it was
on the Packers?
No,
last
it was
week.
targeting. He targeted.
Yeah.
It was a disqualification. But the reason he got ejected is because he was yelling at the referee about it.
Oh,
He's
okay.
like, I didn't do it, blah, blah. And then he's flipping him off, and then he's flipping off the Packer player. He should be suspended because it continued after he got ejected. Then he was going after the Packer player about it and flipping off the people.
Although I did
You
see
should
that,
get at least a game or two suspension without pay for that.
I think Dan Campbell will talk to him about. I did
Oh,
see
I'm
that,
pretty sure he did.
and I do think
Yeah, I think we should go. to
I will
picks.
say this that he did say that he regretted flipping off the fans
Yes.
in a tweet or
Rangers
whatever.
won 4-0.
All right, picks.
Cookie, you
and,
want a cookie? Quick
Update.
deserves more money than Shesterkin.
He's always going to bring that up when we talk about hockey.
Oh yeah, always.
We're not talking about hockey, so let's go pick.
We had to tonight. We had to hear it again.
Once a
just-
week.
The
every
mandatory
podcast.
monologue, as long as he's playing like crap.
And everybody's like,
I'm just
why-
saying $11 million though. Like you got to talk about it. So the picks this week,
we threw in the Winnipeg Jets because we're 14-1.
we still have a couple games going. I have Tennessee, and we all had the LSU Alabama game, and you have both.
Washington has a family.
You have the Boise State game going on still. So
Yep.
So we don't know that yet, but right now the standings are Jake is 32-30 in last place. Carl's 34-30 or 34-27, and I am 37-24.
Call me out like that, but okay.
Yeah, you just man, you start off hot, and then you're just like, yeah, I'm going against all of you, and then the teams that you picked ended up losing
Yeah.
because the teams we picked.
Although he
ended up
got the
winning.
Ole Miss game right today.
Yes, he did. So
You guys all looked at was stupid for going with Ole Miss.
I
I'm
didn't
not
say
saying
that.
you were stupid. I
I
thought
never
it was
said that.
Still,
30-14 Volunteers.
I think I'm gonna get that one.
I think my Bama picks look good too.
It is.
All right.
Again, some of these games, when we look at it,
Come on,
I don't
Broncos.
think it's stupid. I would maybe have gone with a different pick, like Georgia, because they're supposed to have a great defense. But I don't think it's a stupid pick. That line was 1.5. Georgia was favored by 1.5. Yes, and
Yeah.
Ole Miss was like what 21st in the nation, 16.
16.
But everyone's talking like Georgia's going to blow them out. We looked at the thing because you mentioned the underdog, so we looked at it. It was 1.5. I'm like, that's not really a upset.
But Georgia defense can only hold for so much of the offense as it's
Yes.
Ole Miss figured out a way to.
And I don't
shut
think
them down.
Beck's that great that people thought. I think the defense has helped
You
Beck.
know
in
who
the
else
past.
is? Jackson Dart. I mentioned it That was my pick to win it all. Ole Miss.
We'll see if that.
I
comes
don't know if
true.
it'll happen, but
But they're still in it.
let's
They're still in it.
continue.
So this week for the picks, our first pick is Detroit and Houston
Detroit.
because we're not doing Carolina and
No, we're
Giants.
not.
Again, that's 32.
it was
Second
a better
ranked,
Rick.
the 32nd ranked offense versus 32nd ranked defense.
That's
Flip a coin.
like two Make-A-Wish kids
Hey, that's gonna
fighting,
prove
and that's
who-
not gonna. That's not gonna.
Hey, that
work.
proves his offense or defense win championships.
No one's gonna win when two Make-A-Wish kids are fighting each
Hey, I
other.
got Daniel Jones on my team now
It's
because
not gonna work. Okay, we're all
Yeah.
gonna laugh.
I got Daniel Jones because the other two quarterbacks were playing tough teams. I was
Yeah.
like, hey, at least you got
Yeah.
the worst
It's
on
like having
defense.
Timmy from South Park fighting Jimmy from South Park. Okay, it's not gonna win.
I'm taking Timmy in the wheelchair.
So two mentally disabled kids
So
fighting each other,
Detroit-
it's not gonna win.
Detroit and Houston. Across the board, Detroit.
We took the Lions.
because Detroit looks scary this year.
Yes. they do.
Defense, everything. I think Darius Smith can still make an impact. Think CJ Stroud still makes some mistakes against good defenses, and I think that's
Yeah.
gonna. I think the defense is gonna carry them more than the. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm on St. Brown. Like
Mhm.
the next.
Sorry,
all our
Jay.
NFL games, by the way, we got the same pick.
Yep. No,
So-
no, not the last one. Not the last one.
Oh yeah, not the last one. That's true.
This,
That's
no,
true.
I didn't separate myself. I
No,
was,
Jake separated himself.
But we'll talk about the Monday night game first. Let's go in order.
So Monday night Rams.
Sorry, Jay.
Rams and Dolphins. We all
Rams.
picked the Rams.
Rams are
If
still
Tua was
good.
playing better, then
With
maybe.
but with two with the concussion. Also, did you guys see the
I was thinking about it, but
Did you see that who was it? Tyreek Hill, the best receiver on the Miami, has less yards than Jamar Chase had for 2 games against the Ravens.
Yeah.
But yet the Ravens lost or the Bengals lost.
both games.
But I think the offense is just too strong for that defense.
Yeah.
I think that's with Cooper Cup back, with Kyron Robinson, with the tight end, with everything going on, and that defense is okay.
Yeah. I don't. Record wise, yeah. If Dolphins click, this has the potential to be a shootout.
It does, but
They got to click first.
I just hope Tua doesn't get another concussion.
Yeah. Hopefully no.
So
Thursday night is a wonderful matchup.
it is. Philadelphia and Washington. I think you get another good one. Another good.
Here's my opinion. I took Washington because
It's at Philadelphia, Washington, Philadelphia.
I took Washington because Jay Daniels looks pretty good with that offense, and that defense is finally waking up and being a good defense.
Okay.
All right. And we took Philadelphia. Do you want to call anything?
You want to call Washington, huh? I say Philly. Philly's hot.
Philly is
You know.
hot.
Jalen
I'm-
Hurts.
It's just I think
I'm gonna give-
Washington's just got off been on
Yeah,
a
and I
off
think
start.
JD Daniels goes back for a pass to win the game, and Cooper DeJean picks it off and wins the game. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
play favorites over here to Ida Grove.
But I will say that Pittsburgh does play Washington tomorrow at home, and the Eagles are at Dallas tomorrow.
Eagles aren't going to be as banged up as Washington. JJ Watt's going to kill freaking Jaden Daniels with his rib injuries.
TJ Watt. JJ's in
Oh, yeah.
CBS.
JJ's retired. And
Look, when you have initials and both of them are J Watt.
Right. But I think
one's
that's our
a T,
NFL
one's a
picks.
J.
But you can make the case for Washington winning the game.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
Washington's a coin.
It really is.
And obviously we
It's
can't
just,
see
I
the
just went
spread
with
because
Washington
it's not.
because of
Yeah.
I think Washington is
That's why I bring up
Been
their
clicking.
games tomorrow is to kind of give a little bit more some validation. Go ahead. Sorry.
and like Eagles have had like stops and starting again, but Washington's been this steady like coaster,
But I think Washington
this
hasn't
coaster
played.
of just
I don't think Washington.
clicking and going through teams.
we don't need a
I
boxing.
don't think
match already.
Washington played super tough defenses.
They did play Baltimore and moved it pretty well. But
Right.
Baltimore's defense is a
Who
is a
won
bend to
that
break.
game?
Baltimore.
Tough defense.
Give up 20 points. That's not a tough defense. They gave up 34 to Cincinnati on.
But I think the Eagles are just gonna win. But again, I think it's another flip of the coin.
Yeah.
And I think you have a I think Prime's loving some of these Thursday night games.
They'd be
because
good.
They're gonna be good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, these are some
Like
good
honestly,
matchups.
somebody asked me, at the bar or whatever, a friend goes, "Hey, do you think?" Because
Friend.
well, no, I don't know this person. I met this person through a friend, and her
Imagining
guy friend. I don't know who that guy is. I don't know if it was her boyfriend or whatever. We're talking about stuff, and I said I have a podcast. She goes, "Oh, who should?" Because she just started whatever, and he's kind of helping her. And he's like, "We're talking about that bet, right? For betting, because when we do these picks, we don't do spreads."
No,
I said, "You know what? It's 6.5 points was the spread." I was like, "I would actually take Cincinnati because I don't think it's going to be a 7-point game,
no.
so it's going to be under 6.5."
The previous game earlier in the season was won in overtime.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be 6 or under, right? And then the over was 53 or something. I was like, "Oh, take the under." Wrong. That was the wrong bet.
Yes,
I
it
didn't
was.
think. I didn't think both teams would score 30 plus points. To be honest with you, usually play
Happens.
great defenses in these games, and they usually go under 20, 30, maybe 20, 30, but never 34, 33.
Yeah,
I think that was the final score, 35, 34.
35-34 on Thursday.
Yeah, I didn't think 69 points was going to be scored.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
so-
whenever you get the Ravens involved, you don't think the spread's going to be that high because they're traditionally a good defense.
All right, now we got the colleges, and the way it was done this week, I think Mr. Google needs to continue doing this way.
Yeah.
He picks the number, right? He goes the first game of the week to whatever, nothing too late, right? Nothing that's TBD,
Yep.
right? He goes, pick a number to me, 1 to 29. I didn't know what I was picking. I was like, okay, cool. I'll just pick numbers because I don't know the games, right? So I'd pick them, and then depending on what day of the week they fell in, some of us are on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Tuesday.
Yep.
And I kind of figured out, okay, the lower numbers are gonna be earlier, so I had to give somebody
Missouri
a lower
just
number. So
scored.
we all have,
Couple
a
games here and there.
couple game during the week at least, one game during the week. But I like it because it's not, hey, let's go look at top teams. Let's go look at this. Let's literally do random. Let's not just pick a couple that could be good. There's a couple teams on here that we just started looking at the record after we made the picks.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, I'm kind of glad I picked that
Yeah, exactly.
because that wasn't going to change who I picked because I have no
Right.
idea of some of these teams. So who wants to go first with their teams?
I'll go first.
All right, you go first. And we all had Pittsburgh, Clemson.
Yes.
So let's go with that one first.
I'm going.
Pittsburgh.
I think they're going good. I think they're going to.
All right, and I went with Clemson because give me Dabo Swinney in those big games. He came out today. He played hard. I understand Virginia Tech, but Virginia Tech's also 5-4.
Mhm.
Give me Clemson. Dabo Swinney always comes through in bigger games.
Mm-hmm. What my pick?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Just kidding. Clemson.
Okay.
All right.
Better quarterback play. Klubnik.
Klubak.
Klubnik.
Why don't you keep picking your games other than deciphering my English, Amish boy?
I'll do both. Okay. First game I got is a Make-A-Wish game. UCLA.
Oh my Jesus!
I'm a Make-A-Wish game. Your Make-A-Wish game is later.
When I get to my picks, I got something to say.
Okay, I'll pick Washington. It's not much better than UCLA, but I think they're doing good. They'll beat them. Okay, I'll go
I like that pick until UCLA beat Iowa.
Yeah.
But it's Iowa. It's Iowa.
Yeah, but they were in UCLA. At least UCLA doesn't have to go too far to go to Washington.
No.
Then next I got LSU and Florida. Decent game. Go Tigers.
After today, I wouldn't pick Florida for anything.
No, go Tigers. I don't care if they're getting steamrolled by Bama. Go Tigers.
Call 'em Baton Rouge. Go sing it.
I don't know how to sing it.
Okay. Do you know who sings Call 'em Baton Rouge?
Oh, go first.
Okay. Let's know.
Yeah.
Didn't know.
Pat McAfee knows the lyrics.
All right. So I got my Make-A-Wish game.
Yes,
Yeah, he was singing a
does.
little bit of the lyrics, but he kind of let the fans do it. The fans didn't know the lyrics. I'm like, y'all need to listen to more Garth Brooks.
All right. So I got the Make-A-Wish and the Sped Ed game.
It is really.
Special
Liberty
Olympics.
versus UMass.
Give me the Flames.
Yeah, give me the fucking
That's how he told me. He's like, give me the
What else to
flames.
pick,
I'm like, that
okay?
must be Liberty because I know it's not the
Nothing- I have-
Minutemen.
Nothing else to add. Just give me the Flames.
What
That's
is
all.
UMass's?
The Minutemen.
That's what I thought it was.
The Minutemen.
I had that.
And they
that
haven't
matchup.
had a winning season in 20 years.
Ooh,
Oh, at least you were alive. You said 20 or 28.
20.
20.
Oh, at least you were one.
What's up?
LSU's in the red zone against Bama.
Well, they'll throw a pick.
It doesn't matter right
So
now.
I got,
No, they'll kick a field goal. That's all they do.
I got
I'm
my
sorry.
sped and make it.
I have one too. Don't worry. Kind of.
All right. Do you want to go next then?
Oh, you want me to go next or you?
I can go next. So here's my special ed game. If you want to sped ed or want to make a wish that, again, I pick numbers. I mean, I like this because you just randomly pick numbers and you got teams we never would even think about. Eastern Michigan versus Ohio.
Which
Give me the Bobcats.
same state, pretty much, isn't it? Like I was gonna,
It's the other north-south team.
yes, Bobcats and I
It's
don't
the other
know.
Michigan, Ohio, where I really they know what talks.
Both are green.
Both green. They both hate each other.
Are they on the regular green field or the gray field?
Garrett, guess what? If you called up Lee Corso, he would probably take you to that game.
But give
Let's
me.
go.
Okay. So
I don't care where they're at. Give me Ohio.
Give the Bobcats.
It's
Go
not
ahead.
Michigan's year.
Mm-mm. No, it's not.
Then I had
maybe the Red Wings. Sorry.
Louisville and Stanford.
Oh boy.
Give me the Cardinals. We only lost
Cardinals,
the third-
Cardinal. Hey, like that.
Hey. Only one's an actual Cardinal, the other one's a tree.
Oh, give me the tree. No, tree suck.
Give me
Sure.
the actual Cardinals.
Yeah, in Kentucky.
smoking
The one from
trees.
Kentucky. That is my third favorite team. You know, you got Wisconsin, Navy, and then Louisville. Because I almost went to Louisville too. Screw Rutgers. And then the other one.
Jesus.
Then I had Oregon State versus the Chair Force.
What did the Scarlet Knights ever do to you to
They
get
beat-
blacklisted?
They beat Louisville when
Oh,
Louisville had
man.
undefeated season.
Oh man, They'll
This
never-
was before playoffs, so you had to be the one of the top two teams.
Yeah. Okay,
So-
go ahead.
The next one was Oregon State versus Chair Force. Give me the Beavers.
Yep.
At my beaver.
Oh,
Yeah, clearly, if I call them Chair Force, give me the Beavers.
Beavers. Yeah.
Pet that beaver.
Oregon State by 20.
Oh yeah. So I just wanted to. Told you. Told you. I just called it a minute ago.
Oh wait, I forgot Jay Daniels left. That's why I picked LSU.
Is it too late to change my pick?
Wait, you mean to tell me Joe Burrow still doesn't play for him?
No.
I thought we played
Mr.
for
Gilmore,
colleges for
it's
10
too late to
years.
change my pick.
Is it too late to change my pick?
It's Facebook official now.
Facebook official.
YouTube,
YouTube. Yeah.
YouTube official.
the
So-
Boob Tube.
Yeah. We don't talk about them people over at the blue side. This is the red side. YouTube.
Yeah.
Blue is Facebook. You like that? Okay. I just want to say, Google, stop giving me the fucking North Texas games. I'm boycotting them.
You can get North Texas for the rest of the season.
Give me the loss because all I do is lose in those games. I'm not
says
picking
He
anymore.
says it's random generated, but I think he's gonna look for North Texas.
He's going to look for North Texas. Well, I only played two
And
more
UMass
games.
just for you.
I had
Swear to
UMass
God.
and Mississippi
and Chair
State.
Force just for me.
You almost lost that game.
No, I didn't. They were down 10-0. They scored 30 in a row.
Who?
Mississippi State. They were down 10-0 at one point. I don't know how
Yeah,
they did that.
to the Minutemen, they haven't had a winning season.
I still won the game. I'm still beating you.
All right, North Texas. You
All
picking
right,
them?
no, I don't have North Texas. I have another Texas team. But I'm going to start with Florida Atlantic and Temple. Give me the Owls.
Which
one?
Owls? Which one?
Do you want
Both
Temple Owls
You
or
like
you want
that?
the
You
Florida
like that?
Atlantic?
Florida Atlantic.
Hey, if he says Owls, he can't lose.
Exactly. I found a
You get
loophole.
but you
can
get a
throw
half
me
a
these
point.
Games, I'm going to find a loophole.
You get a half a point.
half a point. Florida Atlantic. The next game, which I laughed at, was Texas and Arkansas.
It's still a Texas team.
So a Texas
Give me the
team.
Razorbacks. I'm just-
No, I went with Texas.
Because up here we say hook 'em.
Yeah, you gave me crap for this pick because before we've seen the records, then you're like, oh, that was a good pick after the records.
First of all, I wonder if Taker's gonna be here like he was today. Taker.
Taker was at the game.
Undertaker was in the booth with the commentators.
I told him he's gonna pile drive Tombstone pile drive Joe Tessitore.
You know what
But-
high school he's doing out the Elijah one?
Hakeem
Taker
Olajuwon,
did.
Ooh, Mark Calloway, and Hakeem Olajuwon, they would have won more NBA titles.
They should have won. I mean, dude's 7 feet tall.
Michael
No.
doesn't win 2 rings because of Undertaker beating the NBA.
No. He just looks at him, rolls his eye.
Coming off the bench to Kembe Mutombo.
All right, let's see third game.
Just goes like this to Jordan.
This third game. Can't do this right now.
The
Wyoming-
lights flicker. Smoke fills the arena. Paul Bear comes out.
All right, what's your third game, Carl?
Wyoming and Colorado State. He's like, you don't want to go with the Cowboys? Cowboys are 2-7. Colorado State's 4-4.
Yeah, go.
Or no, they're
Rams.
6-3. Colorado State was 6-3, I think.
I'm still cool. I'll
I
still
took
pick
the
Wyoming
Rams. I took the Rams.
because I used to pick Wyoming in all my college football games.
Yeah,
So I
but the
took-
Cowboys suck in any college.
Oh.
Not in college football because you get to control them.
Ooh, sorry. Colorado State, give me the
How
Rams.
about Oklahoma State? Do they always suck too? Go tell that to Barry Sanders.
They're 3-6 this year.
Huh?
Woo, they're 3-5 or 3-6 this
I mean,
year.
they have a good.
Down in G2, 38-3.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Oklahoma State.
What?
damn, they have a family. Oh man, I think he farted again. That's why I'm doing this.
I did not
know.
fart this time.
It was me.
All right.
I
All
can't.
right, let's.
All right,
Nicole
so that's
picks.
our picks. Again,
Michael
we do
Jordan.
not we do not bet with the spread. The only thing the spread does is if it's more than 6.5 for the
Well, I
NFL,
can't
it's
look at you.
it's double points for if you win, and if it's more than 14, so 13 and a half with the college, then it's the underdog pick. So you get an extra 2 points. So do not take our picks thinking, oh, we're great, we're gonna make money off these. You're not gonna make money off these. Not
Michael-
for our picks. I mean, you heard the records. None of us are like blowing it out of the water over
No,
here. I don't think any of us are 10 games ahead of our losing record.
I would be if
so-
I didn't have North Texas.
Well, again, we don't take the spread, so we
No.
can't guarantee that you're going to make money off
Exactly.
these because yours was 1.5 point Georgia. So yes, you would have won off the spread because you pretty much you take Ole Miss.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, you're going to win by more than 2 points.
Mhm.
Well, earlier this year I had Oregon State and Oregon,
But because it was,
but I had Oregon State to go for the 2 points. Now I knew no way in hell Oregon State was going to win, but you go for that 2-point shot at some point.
and like I said, your spread was 1.5. So how much money are you really?
If your hand goes near my face again,
I'm
gonna bite
Italian.
it.
I'm Italian.
So if you,
Mr. Jazz hands.
I'm Jewish. Anyway, if you,
I thought that looked like.
so no, I gotta read one. Hey, let me read this one
Oh,
because I know what that one is. We're gonna have 2 cold takes, but
Yeah.
if you bet on the spread of 1.5, you're not winning a lot of money anyway.
I'm just laughing.
All
at
right,
the
so
fact that
you read that one. That's from the 10-year-old.
No, I'm just thinking Undertaker doing this to Michael Jordan still. Sorry. Rest in peace.
Oh, and the 10-year-old's watching us read it.
Okay, so your cold take from the 10-year-old is: what was your favorite grade in school and why?
It's a good one. That's actually a decent one. She told me this one. I'm like, you know what? Write it down because I asked him. Cold take was from Mr. Google. He didn't respond.
Signed it.
It's not a cold thing. You read it.
Well, she had to tell me because I thought it was gonna be like,
'Cause there was
what Olivia Rodrigo song do you
No,
like?
no. Well, no, I'm gonna say this. She wanted to make sure that it was one that you haven't done because she asked us.
Some
She
of
asked
them
him
were
like,
like, "What's your favorite candy bar?"
Yeah.
But that was like our big board and stuff. So,
okay, so favorite grade in school and why? You want me to go first? I'll
Yes.
start with okay.
No, you should go first.
I'm trying to. I got a burp. I have air in my freaking lungs and I want to get out. Blech. Okay, here we go. So John Madden and everything. You're going with the grade of school, and you're looking at chicks and stuff like. Okay, yeah,
What?
gay marriage. I don't know what we're doing now. What are we talking about?
Okay,
Greatest
continue
school.
on.
Okay.
Let's go.
greatest grade in school.
Okay.
Favorite grade in school.
I'm just messing around, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it would probably be freshman year of high school. It was a different change, different scenery. You're going from middle school to high school, and I was just trying to figure things out. And you're pretty much getting independence. You're making sure you're going to your classes at that point. And it was a good adjustment. I met some really good friends that I'm still friends with now. And didn't have a girlfriend that year, but I came close. But it wasn't what it was all about. I mean, I thought that question was going to get brought up, so I tried to nip it in the
Well,
bud.
if look, we're talking about girlfriends and stuff. It doesn't change my answer, but that's part of my answer.
Okay.
So go ahead with the Wish Hugh version of the Hugh Hefner.
Okay. But
West Virginia.
I had some great classes. I met some really good teachers that year in high school, and not just teachers that taught me, but other teachers that were there. And I officially learned from or didn't learn from, because I talked to teachers that didn't even teach me, just because of the fact that they're showing me guidance or whatever it is, just talking about life stuff. So it was really an amazing experience, because they're actually not so much treating you as a kid, but a young adult. So you're getting that respect level. So that's why my freshman year was good.
And touch on that. Freshman year is always, I think, one of the better years, right?
Yeah.
Because you're going in somewhere new. It's no matter how small the school was, right? My
Yeah.
school was small and stuff, and I still knew the people and stuff. And I actually got to chose to stay in the same school district versus going to a different one, kind of thing. So yeah, I agree. Freshman year is always a great year.
Yeah.
Move your mic. Go ahead.
I already moved it once.
Your mic needs
Go. You
Viagra.
got yours.
Yeah, I do. It's like combined like two different years, but it's mainly by the back half of my 8th grade year and my freshman year. Just mainly because of the different experiences, but mainly because of I got into my youth group and just the different experiences I learned there in my faith and just experiences I learned, the travels I did, just got me away from my parents.
Okay. That's good. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Mine's my senior year.
Okay.
And it's not because I was leaving high school and being done. My senior year was, looking back at now, probably one of the greatest things that's happened. So, and I don't mean like a lot of stuff like good, bad, or whatever, right? Grades aside. So my senior year, I had a girlfriend. We're dating and stuff for a little bit, and we ended up breaking up. If it wasn't for that breakup, I don't go to the Navy probably.
Right.
Navy, my senior year is when I decided, like the second half of my senior year is when I decided I'm going to the Navy because of
Touching it.
a breakup with a girl. Also,
It's not supposed to be funny, but it
so also other things have happened. I don't feel comfortable saying now, I guess, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So with that breakup was because I went to Mexico. We broke up before I went to Mexico because I took a foreign exchange student out to prom or homecoming. I should say not prom, homecoming. With that, one of my best friends, Ashley, became like a great sister to me. Met some people I dated around her. So that's where I got Hugh Hefner, man, whore, whatever you want to call the term. But I learned experiences, right? I learned who I was.
I bet you did. What?
But it wasn't so much the grades, right? It was, hey, this happened, this happened, this happened that led me to the Navy, right? If it
Yeah.
wasn't for a lot of those, I probably would have never joined the military. Because it's like, okay, now I'm not with this girl that I've been dating for a year and a half, 2 years. What do I do now? Oh, let me go in the military and just get away. Because everyone goes to NIU or Rock Valley Community College or something like that. What's something different that not a lot of people do?
Right.
Let me go in the military. There's a couple other people that joined the Navy, but they joined reserves. When I joined, it's supposed to be reserves. Thank God they wake us up at 5 a.m. and I have to look at a piece of paper that says active duty. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not signing it and saying it's wrong. So just send me active duty.
Yeah.
So if you had never gone to the Navy, Mr. Google and Mrs. Google wouldn't be together today.
Exactly. Like I said,
It had a ripple effect.
My senior year did have a ripple effect for a lot of reasons. A lot. I mean, like you always look at stuff like, hey, this would never happen. This would never happen. Yeah, cool. I'll be with my grandpa before he died.
Yeah.
Because I want to be on the boat. Great. But I want to have 2 good kids.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Google and Mrs. Google never would have met because I never would have gone to the military and I would have stayed in Illinois. I probably would have gone to NIU.
Right.
Would have got accepted. If I didn't get accepted, I would have gone to a community college, found work.
Go ahead.
I would have done whatever and been stuck in my little town.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, I probably would have ended up getting my grandpa's house or whatever because when he got cancer and got moved out, it probably would have gone to my mom. And I would either got that or where I was living. Who knows where I would be? But like everyone talks about, but that one decision, that hey, don't talk to this person or we're gonna break up. And then I talked to the person, that foreign exchange student, and took her. Those two, that decision to where it ended that relationship went to literally my whole life. It's
Yeah.
just that, like, everyone talks about if I would have done this, I would have never met this person or this person. If I just never talked to that one person, we would have stayed together. Me and that the girl from high school, my high school sweetheart, completely changed. There's no
Yeah.
podcast, there's no Mr. Google, there's no kids, there's no nothing.
Right.
That's why senior year to me was like the best year because I look back at it now.
Yeah.
Now, when it was happening, it was still one of the better years.
Yeah.
And the football, like, hey, I'm going to the military. I'm doing this. Like, I'm gonna make a name. I'm gonna do not make a name, but do something.
Yeah.
Right.
Make an impact.
And that's
or something.
different than what everyone else in my high school does.
Right.
I don't know what they do now, but when that was happening,
I had 2 questions. So had you have what was the one is you said earlier University of Louisville. Would you have went there? And
I
what
was looking. Going into my senior year. I visited my aunt and uncle in Louisville.
Yeah.
And the main reason I went is, hey, they went there.
Yeah.
My uncle was in the army. He went to college there. Take me around Louisville. Because they live there. I follow the football. Take me around Louisville. I want to see the campus. I might come here for college. That's one of the college I would have applied for in college or in high school.
Second question, area study.
Area study, teacher. When I was in high school, I wanted to be a teacher and a football coach. But
Okay.
mainly being a teacher, going into high school, you can kind of come up with schemes and learn stuff. But I wanted to be a teacher, high school teacher. Can't deal with young kids. Nowadays, I can't deal with older kids.
So yeah. Yeah.
Cool
Well,
take number
Take
two.
number 2. That was actually a lot deeper than I thought it was going to be.
yeah, it really was.
That was a great cold take. Maybe
Yeah.
we should have someone come up with some of the questions.
Said something about the chat disconnected, so I don't know if it got it comes back. Okay.
Who? What was the most trouble you ever got into as a kid?
Now, I'm going to preface this to say that I wanted to talk to all your moms first to figure out what their answer was.
Mine and my mom's might be different.
That's exactly what my point was, but I'll do that with a different one.
You definitely have to tell me what my mom was.
I don't talk to mine anymore, so
'Cause I
Neither
don't.
do I. So
All right, here.
Okay,
I'm
so
sure you're going to step on.
question.
you can talk to
Question.
my dad.
Did you, Mr. Google,
You-
did you talk to Mrs. Google?
Not yet. No.
Okay, good, because I have no idea what she's going to say.
all right. So
You started a garage fire. That has to be the
no,
worst.
no. Okay, so
Mhm.
I have something worse. So this is right around my 7th to 8th grade year. When I was 13 or 14. I just got in the bad crowd. I got caught shoplifting. Then
Jeez.
The whole room just went, including a 10-year-old.
I haven't heard mine yet.
Then a few months later, at the end of 8th grade year, because at the end of 8th grade year, I threw a party with my friends and I got drunk. Parents showed up, hauled my ass home, called the cops on me.
They called the cops on you.
Yes. They caused the cops on me. I already had one charge on my record and they got another one on me.
You know what? I don't agree with a lot of things your parents probably do, but I probably would call the cops on my kid too to make them learn a lesson.
Yeah, probably.
If it wasn't going to be a serious charge, like you murdered someone, cool, we hiding that. But but underage drinking, I probably would handle it myself now. I'm joking.
I mean, it was cool. I got a breathalyzer. I never did a breathalyzer before.
Right.
Hey, just
I
don't have
remember
to start your
I
car
blew
with one.
a-
You'll be all right.
Right.
I blew a .16.
You weren't drunk at all, isn't it? Oh, that's .08. My bad.
At like 14?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I can honestly say I never partied and drank until the Navy.
I never said I was a saint
And
growing up.
Mrs. Google can confirm that.
I just background. It's just
I
it
still
was.
done some stupid shit. And I got a story, but
Right. I did two things.
all right. I got two things
I
too.
mean, I'm far
One
from the
is-
person I was then I am now.
When I was in sixth grade, one's a high school one and one is a sixth grade one. One is high school or sixth grade was I wasn't doing my homework. So they would send homework and completion forms to the parents. That got me in trouble. I knew I was going to get grounded. So my dumb ass started to forge signatures.
I did that in second grade.
Yeah.
And I never, that's the worst trouble I ever got into.
That was the worst trouble I got into at that time.
Wait, first of all, how you forge signatures
Didn't have block print. They knew
when your mother is the teacher? I'm just saying, your mom's a teacher in the same school district, right?
I didn't want to get in trouble. I wanted
Can't
to
they
hang
just go
out.
down the hall and talk to her?
Let's just say that turned put me on the straight and narrow after second grade.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, how many times did you forge a signature? Once or twice?
It took me a while to get
So
on the
one
straight and
forged
narrow.
signature, and your mother knew, huh?
Well, and then,
Oh, your father knew? Oh, I know your father. And Mr. Yosemite Sam over there, I'd be scared of. I'm scared of his mustache now.
You should
So,
call him Yosemite
high
Sam.
school-
You should see his mustache. It's the best mustache I've ever seen in my life. You
I
need to come here.
I guess I'm
How long are they going to be here? They're going to be here Saturday, right? No, but next week.
They're coming Monday, and they should. My dad will be here for about 4 days. My mom ain't around for a couple weeks.
okay.
Okay, so you won't see the mustache.
You might. You can go over there.
You just need to come over one. I'm not this dude. I love Mr. Google's dad and mom. The great people, right?
The great Google,
Great
and the
grandparents.
the great,
They're good grandparents.
the great
They're
Googles.
like
great.
they're like my grandma and grandpa. They
Right.
treat me like family.
That's
Well,
awesome.
great-
What was
they're
the,
great
search
people.
engines before
His hat,
AOL.
amazing.
Google?
So they're AOL and he's Google.
I don't know.
All
The
right,
other-
anyway,
the
4
second one is
signatures.
probably gonna get me kicked out. When I was 15, I made the mistake of telling my dad I made out with a 12-year-old, and he sat my ass down. You do not do that. I'm like, okay, sir, because he was a Marine. I'm like, yes, sir. I'm not going to argue with you.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes.
She tried doing it again. I'm like, get your ass away.
They're like, no. Not so fast,
No,
midget.
no.
Oh, she wasn't a midget. She was more Jake's type.
She ain't 280. She ain't a lady.
Damn straight.
Half on your girlfriend.
Oh, man.
Jake's type is not that way. We just tease about it. That's all.
Earthquake.
But,
Okay, not that big.
no.
I don't want to become a pancake
but-
on a mattress.
But yeah, it was. Yeah, he had to talk with me, and it's like, what are you thinking? I'm like, obviously,
No, was it?
Oh, I was just not with the right one.
Not with the right brain.
It didn't get that far, so I'm just like, we both stopped ourselves, and I walked home, and I'm like, yeah, Dad, guess what I did? I was trying to brag. Sit your ass down, boy.
So I got
He told me not so fast, midget.
I got some trouble I got into. One was I don't know. So not Mr. Google, stepdad number 2. No, stepdad number 1. My bad. Marriage number 2.
There's more than one?
No, there's
Mrs.
2
You're
stepdads.
not making Mrs. Google. look
There's
good,
2
right?
stepdads,
Yeah,
3
no, I see.
marriages. Anyway,
Yeah.
hey, look, everyone in my family, my next marriage is number 3. Everyone in my family has had 3 marriages. I'm just saying.
We're
Sorry,
awesome.
Zoe and Zane. No.
Her, Zane.
So one of them was I just left and didn't tell no one, like, out of school. I was in school. Cool got over with. I didn't skip.
The PP.
And I just left and hung out with friends, didn't
Well,
tell
ever eat.
anyone. I wasn't coming home and just came home and got in trouble, right? Because
Yep.
like I just whatever. Another one was with a best friend of mine, aforementioned girlfriend for like a year and a half. We went out late at night and
Okay.
played Ding Dong Ditch.
Say
Oh,
ding
boy.
dong ditch.
Yeah, her
Yep.
parents were home. I'm not saying names. Her grandma was still there.
Oh,
Oh, at least your grandma was still there.
that doesn't make the story better.
Her and her brother were there
At
too.
least someone was there.
So we rang the doorbell. They called the cops.
Whoa.
We ran from the cops. I dropped the jacket I had to go to the cop station to get the police station to get. And they say they can shoot because they told us to stop running. We will shoot. And at that point, they have every right to shoot.
Yeah, they would have too.
They didn't shoot. We got away. So I thought till I dropped someone else's coat because it wasn't mine. I'm like, I'm dropping it. It's too heavy. And I ran. I got away. I didn't see him for a while, my friend. I was like, oh shit, he got caught. What the fuck?
Everyone for themselves.
Remember, you ain't gotta be the fastest guy. You gotta be faster than the other guy.
Now there's
I
Those
ain't
guys.
tripping someone. If
there
I
was
meant-
another time in that same subdivision when I was younger that stuck on a night to go 2 houses down to climb up a ladder to knock on a girl's door
Oh god.
or
Um,
window.
The beginnings of Wish Hugh Hefner.
It's not the worst
It's
part.
a prequel.
That same
I
house.
said the early beginnings.
That same house. You know what? That's a story for another time. The rest of that story.
What are we reading?
All right.
Feels nice.
I don't know.
Where are you going with it?
So
I'm just in a beanie. Okay.
no, I did not get in trouble during the sneak out. You know what? Yeah, you're right. I didn't get in trouble, so I'm not gonna say the rest of it. This involves not a B and E, but an E.
Okay, my story.
Someone else's
makes
house.
You guys look like saints.
Uninvited.
Mm-hmm.
These stories are what make us who we are.
Yes.
Mine did, yes.
It's important, right?
But yeah, so I got in trouble with my mom because I had nothing to tell her. I gotta go to the police station to get someone else's coat. It wasn't my friend's coat, it was his friend's.
Hey, you still could get in trouble with her to this day, right?
I don't know if she
Hopefully, she doesn't watch tonight.
if she's watching, she remembers. Hi, mom. She might have other stories, but I don't remember the other stories.
True.
But yeah, I have some other stories where I didn't get caught, like knocking on people's windows in the middle of the night with a ladder and a dog barking at me. And a
I
lady
have some
yelling at
other
me
fun
and
stories.
entering someone's house who their door
Oh.
wasn't locked, so it's not breaking and entering. Set a house on fire or garage.
Okay, I was like 3.
Why were you burning a house down at 3?
Was
No supervision.
don't remember. Don't know the details. Okay, but then my
Fire is
Okay.
fun.
He's 3 and no
I was an
supervision.
early pyromaniac. Okay, whatever. Okay, it was funny story. So this was back when I was living in Orange City. Back wrong with the wrong crowd, and we decided Halloween. We decided to steal pumpkin from someone's front porch, did some stuff to it, and put it back.
That's how horror movies start, bro. That's how curses happen. Demons.
What did you do to the pumpkin?
I'll tell you after the camera's off.
Nope, I'm good. I don't need to know. Did it involve bodily fluids?
You were 3?
Oh yes.
Ew. Well, that's-
We're not haunted anymore. But we should have a podcast episode where we go for like an hour and just tell some crazy stories because I got some crazy Navy stories.
All right,
Yeah.
you ready to close it?
yeah, we can do that.
But yeah, so I think we're good.
Yeah, definitely. After
Next
that.
week, same week and time.
Mhm.
Enjoy. You guys have a wonderful night.
Bye.